Hello and welcome into the stream for everybody over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen. We are trying out a brand new streaming solution. And it doesn't look like it's... Oh, it is working. There we go. Hello and welcome into the live for everybody tuning in over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. We are trying a brand new streaming solution. We're going through Restream, if you know what that is. We're definitely experiencing some technical difficulties, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and figure them out. And for everybody joining us, regardless if you're over on YouTube or on TikTok, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Everyone, it looks like we are all good to go. So we are going to go ahead and hop right into the debates for the day. If you're watching on YouTube, my mic. Okay, I got to fix the mic. 1 second, everybody. On YouTube, the mic is really loud, so you got to give me a second here so I can fix this real quick. 0 dB. What about that? No, that's still too loud. Oh no. Is that still too loud, everyone? Okay, what about that? Are we doing a little bit better now, y'all? Are we good? Are we good now? Everybody, give us a minute. We're figuring out the technical difficulties over on YouTube. Okay, it looks like we're good now. Okay, phenomenal. So for everybody tuning in on TikTok, if you're curious why I'm not, streaming off of the YouTube studio, it's because I only have access to my TikTok account at It's Not Dean right now. So we're kind of piping in the audio to YouTube after the fact. For everybody over on YouTube, I do apologize for that crunchy mic sound. Everybody on Party too, because the live just started over there. We will be able to make the quality of the mic significantly better here in around 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I should have access to stream off of TikTok Studio. And then also bro, the gain on the mic is bad? Bro, okay. Is that much better? Is that better? Or what if I just literally turn down the volume? What about that? Is that better? I don't know. Sorry, everybody. Lock in, Dean? It's still not better. It's too hot. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. For everybody on YouTube, we are going... It's perfect? Okay. All right, it looks like we got to figure it out. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties of the day. For everybody tuning in on TikTok, if you support Trump and you'd like to pop up here and have a debate with me, do let me know down below in that chat. We are fighting through some technical difficulties to start the day off. And by the way, we are also live over on Party, but it looks like we're experiencing some technical difficulties over there too. So I don't really know what's going on, everybody, but we are going to go ahead and hop into that very first debate of the day. If you do find yourself in that queue, make sure that means that you support Donald J. Trump. And then here in around, let's see here, 18 minutes, we should be good to go with streaming over to TikTok off of our usual TikTok studio. But let's go and load up that first guest. Everyone, just give us a minute here. What's going on, Kelly? Welcome into You Support Trump.
Of course, I support Trump, Dean Withers.
Okay, phenomenal. How old are you, man?
I'm 34.
34.
Born 1981.
Great. And why do you support Trump?
Zero border crossings.
Well, that's
Inflation is doing quite well.
Did you just say zero border crossings?
Yes, last month.
So you're just completely misinterpreting the given data. So no, we didn't have zero border crossings. What you're referring to is the amount of undocumented
So CNN
immigrants.
was wrong.
So no, you misinterpreted what CNN reported, because I know what they reported. It was the amount of undocumented immigrants that were apprehended by Border Patrol and then not turned around and re-released back into America.
Still,
because
that's
now
better
ICE
than
is
what,
denying
than what
bonds
Biden
to
did.
undocumented immigrants.
That's better than what Biden did, right?
Well, it's not your first claim because your claim was that there's zero border crossings and you just simply misinterpreted what you saw. So I feel like the facts are important.
Okay, sure, facts. You're going to specifics.
So
right?
why do you support
But
Trump?
still, it's way better. It's way better. I feel like he's more serious about it than Biden, and I appreciate that.
Okay. So you support Trump because you think that he's better for the southern border compared to Biden. So let me ask you a question here. What specifically is he doing for the southern border that you're a fan of?
I mean, he kind of bullied Canada and also bullied Mexico.
He
right?
bullied Canada
to
and
bring
Mexico.
it-
You
to
really?
bring it
And you're a
to
fan, so how did he bully some of our closest allies? What did he do?
Tariffs.
Oh, like the tariffs, like putting the tariffs
Scared
on the
them, yeah.
countries
Scared them to shit.
and pulling
Yes,
them
yes,
off.
yes.
Oh, but then he
Yes,
actually
because-
pulled himself out. 1 second. Then he actually pulled us out of negotiations with Canada. Let me ask you. So the trade agreement that we've had in effect with Canada, Mexico for years now. Are you a fan of that? It's called the USMCA. What are your thoughts here?
I'm not fond of that. Sorry, no, not fond. That's the wrong term. I'm not quite knowledgeable on that. But either way,
yeah,
right?
of course you're not knowledgeable on
Yeah.
what the USMCA,
Hold on.
USMCA is, which
Either
is
way-
a trade agreement that Donald Trump actually negotiated with Mexico and Canada in his first term. Yeah, you don't know anything about that, man. I get it.
Yeah, but either way, he's doing a good job, right? Even
What
what's his name?
specifically is he doing?
Bernie Sanders admitted that. Why can't you, Dean Withers, just admit that? Give him credit there, and we move on to other things that he's failing.
Well,
If he
credit
keeps-
for
if he
what?
keep-
I need
if
you
he
to
keeps
tell me
staying
what
on
do I
things
need to
that
give
he's
him credit
succeeding
for?
in,
Tell me
if he keeps
exactly.
staying on things
Tell
that
me
he's
exactly
succeeding
what
in,
he's
you
done
just
that I
look
need to
like
give him
a
credit
total
for.
loser. What the fuck?
Stop crashing out, Kelly.
But-
Tell me exactly what Trump has done that's good that I need to give him credit for. Be specific.
Oh God.
Go see. You're telling me that I need to give him credit for what? You don't even know what I need to give him credit for.
Okay. So hold on. So if I say the specific, you'd agree with me, right?
Well, I mean, we'll have to
If I
see what
don't-
the specifics are. What if the
But don't
specifics
agree
are him
with me.
crashing the economy? Obviously, I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to give him credit for that. If the specifics are him scaring away undocumented entry by being a fascist and violating the human rights of the undocumented immigrants that are in the country, of course I'm not going to be able to agree and give him credit for that. No, you have to describe what the specifics are, things that he's done that you think are good, and then I'll give you my thoughts. If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. But tell me, what specifically has Donald Trump done that makes you a big fan of his?
Okay. I won't really go into specifics, but I'll go into tactics, right? The scare tactic that he's using, right? Alligator Alcatraz, putting like a strong border enforcement in Canada and also in Mexico, right? Scaring like someone who's in Mexico will think twice to come illegally to America, right? It's like a scare
Jesus
tactic.
Christ.
I appreciate that, and I accept that.
So no,
Yeah.
I actually don't give that any credit whatsoever because it's absolutely disgusting. So you're saying what you support.
So what do you
is-
prefer? What do you prefer?
If you would allow me to finish speaking, sir, that would be great. So you're telling us what you support is the implementation of human rights violations and conditions for undocumented immigrants, and which are just simply disgusting. No, like I don't think it's a good idea to quote unquote scare away immigration by violating the human rights of undocumented immigrants that are in this country, or by rounding them up, throwing them in alligator Alcatraz, then giving them one meal a day. Some of those meals reportedly
No,
having
Dean,
maggots in them,
Dean,
with
Dean.
no clean water.
No,
No,
Dean.
you're listening to me. With no clean water.
Yeah, I've
running-
listened
no,
to
no,
you,
no.
I've
You're
listened
still
to you.
listening to me. You're
I
still
get what
you're
you're
still
saying. I
listening.
get
You're
what you're
still
saying.
listening to me. You are still listening to me.
Oh, God.
You're listening to me. I'm speaking. You're listening. Can you act like an adult? Is that something you could do?
What the hell? Of course, continue. but
Okay.
you-
Well, that
you
was your
make me
second
speak
interruption
until
of
you
what
talk
I
for
was
like 2
saying in like
minutes. That's
30
weird.
seconds. No, I was speaking for. I'm sorry that I'm not going to just spell it out for you with a crayon on paper in less than 5 seconds, and that we have nuanced
No,
conversations.
when I
here.
talk and you interrupt me, I give you a chance to rebut. You know, that's
I
fair.
haven't
That's a fair
interrupted you.
conversation.
You're still interrupting me. You told me that you support what Donald Trump is doing for the southern border by scaring away undocumented entry by things like alligator Alcatraz in America. I think that this is not only one of the most disgusting things that he has done so far in his administration, but it makes it abundantly clear that he upholds a disdain for human rights. I mean, think about it. No, we shouldn't support rounding up undocumented immigrants and throwing them in alligator Alcatraz, where they're reportedly being fed one meal a day, some of those meals having maggots in them, and then no cleaning while they're to bathe for 4 days. We shouldn't support them illegally deporting Abrigo Garcia to El Salvador, where he was beaten and tortured for 3 weeks, lost 31 pounds, and was forced to kneel from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And if he fell out of exhaustion, he would have been beat by the guards. No, these are humanitarian concerns and which should be impermissible in every country in this world. And the fact that you are now telling me that you support treating people like things that don't have feelings, that don't have human rights, that can't experience cruel and unusual treatment, just like you or I, is absolutely deplorable. And it's not only wrong for all of the humanitarian reasons I just gave, but it's also wrong because it's short term. It's not permanent. The moment we have somebody in the Oval Office with a brain in their head that isn't a total fascist with a disdain for human rights, guess what? This quote unquote solution just goes away. So it's not long term, it's short term, and it's incredibly immoral.
Wow, thank you so much. That's a lot to process. But anyway, yeah. So what I meant by scare tactics, right, falls under all the law of America, right? If I'm quote unquote a pedo, right? I should fear ever committing that crime ever because of the legality that is there, right? So anything that is illegal, any human being should fear doing it because of the repercussions, right? That's why I accept the scare tactic, right? Because any person that thinks of illegally entering the country should fear and think twice, right? It's a good way of ensuring that the law is followed, and that's what I support. You might say it's wrong, it's or whatever, right? But my position is that I support it, right? Because it staves away from people just committing illegal acts of any sort, right?
Would you
So
hypothetically?
I support that totally.
Would you
I
hypothetically?
totally support that.
Would you hypothetically support an amendment being passed through Congress and added to the Constitution that removes due process for undocumented
Mr.
immigrants?
Hypothetical. This is how you dox people, by the way. You just go to hypothetical such
fuck?
win and dox. What the
Dude,
fuck? Can't we
this,
just
this
talk
Kelly
about
guy
things
literally
that are
doesn't have a
reality?
brain between his shoulders. Kelly.
Hypothetical,
So
hypothetical.
I'm trying to
hypothetical.
respond to what you just said. You're still acting like a man-child. You can't let me get more than one word out
No.
of my mouth. I'm sorry if critical thought scares you, but guess what? That's what this
No,
stream
it's
is
don't
for.
scare me.
So
It's just
I want to
you
go
always
ahead and
use
continue to speak
hypotheticals to
here.
win.
So I use critical thought and examination of your logical principles to win a debate. Well, I mean, thank you for telling me I'm good at my job, Kelly. But
Why can't
anyways,
we
let's
stick to
get back.
reality?
Let's get back to what I was saying. So you told
Let's
us,
stick to reality. Let's argue in reality. Those good hypotheticals.
Jesus Christ. So you didn't pass third grade math, okay? Because in third grade math, you use hypotheticals to learn more about mathematic principles for a
I
better
get that.
understanding
With
grounding
math,
in
it
reality.
makes sense, but in debates, it doesn't really make sense.
Well, I mean, no, you're just fucking
hypotheticals
stupid.
are used
You
to
just have no clue.
to
You
clear-
just have no clue what you're saying. No, explain to me what a hypothetical is and the relevance in which they serve in debate. Tell me, please explain it to me.
I mean, to clarify something, right? Use
To
hypotheticals
clarify what?
Clarify something.
To clarify your point and to see
clarify
if you
something,
truly
to
believe in your own
clarify
logic. So if you sit up here and you tell me that you support the scare tactic of cruel and unusual punishment for undocumented immigrants in this country to scare off people from breaking the law to come in here without through
Yeah.
undocumented entry, obviously a hypothetical follow-up question would be, would you hypothetically support a new amendment being added to the Constitution to strip due process away from undocumented immigrants to make it easier to round them all up and to throw them in camps to torture them, so we're scaring away more undocumented entry? Would that be something that you'd hypothetically support?
Repeat that again. You went too fast. But by the way, I apologize. Yeah, your hypothetical makes sense. Clarify something. Okay, go on. I didn't quite hear it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
We're going to give you
Repeat that again.
we're going to give you a better one, and this one isn't hypothetical. This one is not going to be a hypothetical. So if you think that we should be tough on crime to scare away criminals, well, Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies and held civilly liable for the violent sexual abuse of a woman, and we
Civilly
obviously
liable
weren't
sucks.
tough on that.
The business ones I can
We
agree.
obviously
Civilly
weren't.
liable.
One moment. We obviously weren't. Dude, that is seriously the 15th time you've interrupted me. Every single time I've opened my mouth, you've interrupted me. If you interrupt me again, I'm going to kick you from the live stream. Are we clear?
No, it's because I have had time following so many points.
I
like when
said
it's
5
one point at a
words.
time.
This shouldn't be difficult at all. I literally said 5 words. Can you allow me to
No,
finish
you say
speaking?
the-
If you need clarification
say-
of what I'm saying, feel free to ask me for that clarification after I finish. But you've literally interrupted me every single time I've opened my mouth. Can we stop doing
Okay,
that?
okay, sorry. Go on. Calm down. Go on.
Okay. And if you interrupt me again, what am I going to do to you?
Such a bully. Yeah.
I'm gonna kick you from the
That's what you
stream.
said. Yeah. Yes, bully. Yes, bully.
So
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that
Yes.
upholding boundaries was being a bully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm only upholding the
Yes,
boundary.
colonizer. Yes, colonizer. Go on. Continue. Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
Say your
I'm gonna
point.
go ahead and finish speaking now. So, if you think
Yeah,
that we should
yeah.
be tough on crime to scare away people from committing crimes, here's the question I'd like to ask you. All right. Well, Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies. He was also held civilly liable for the violent sexual abuse of a woman by a unanimous jury of 9. So my question to you is, if undocumented entry into this country, which is a victimless crime that actively makes this country better, right, warrants cruel and unusual punishment in giving people one meal a day with maggots in them, and warrants literal immigrants being beaten and tortured in another country illegally, well, I have a question. Do you think that Trump committing 34 felonies and being held civilly liable for rape, at the bare minimum, warrants not voting him into the most powerful position known to mankind, aka the presidency of this country?
Oh, okay. For the felonies, not really, because I mean, misplacing whatever I did with the documents, those business illegalities, I don't consider them as, I don't know. It's
That's
really not a
legally
big
speaking,
deal.
that's
I
more
mean,
severe than
a lot of people
undocumented
do
entry,
it. What
because
the fuck?
those are felonies.
But
and
if-
undocumented entry is a
If
misdemeanor.
you see, you've interrupted me. You see? You've
Oh yeah, I'm
interrupted
gonna
me.
interrupt you all I want now.
You see, you're such a piece of shit, you fuck. But anyway, so the civilly liable, right? That one. If it was on criminal case, I will totally support you 100% that bitch should go to jail, right? But civil liable, I really don't see it as a really big deal. It's not criminal, right? I'll never respect things that come out of civil liable cases.
Okay, why?
That's my point of view, right?
Why?
To you, it's
Why?
serious. To me, it will never be serious.
Why is it
the
not
evidence is not. The evidence is not really strong in civil
Really?
liable
What's the
cases.
evidence?
Just hearsay. Oh, I saw this guy. He touched me this way. No. It's, I mean, what? It's just hearsay, right? But
What's one piece of
criminal
evidence?
case,
What is one
feel-
piece of evidence that was submitted to the court that led to the unanimous jury of 9 holding Trump liable for the rape of a woman?
Okay, I think one or two of our friends confessed that she addressed it to them. That's number one. Another
What's her
one that I
name?
can remember.
What's her name?
Who?
The victim.
The victim? Eugene Carroll.
Eugene Carroll.
Yeah, Eugene Carroll. Yeah. So the friend's testimony, right, which is hearsay, which is what I was talking about. Then there was another time where Trump kind of say that I've never met this chick. Then she produced a photo, something like that, when she was just kind of like behind. I don't know. That photo was not really good evidence, just being in the picture. Like
What?
I can be behind you,
that was,
Dean.
that was
I can be behind you and I take a photo. But
Dude,
you're
this
facing me,
motherfucker sucks.
but you don't know who
This
the fuck I
motherfucker
am.
sucks so much. No, this guy's like, dude, like you are literally a fascist, by the way. I just want to make that incredibly clear. Like this guy's literally a fucking fascist. And I mean that with every bone in my body. Like referencing
Here we
back
go
to how he
again.
was arguing.
Are you going to dox
Oh,
me?
wait, I'm so
Are you gonna
sorry that
dox
I'm
me?
just calling you out for what the facts are. You told us earlier that undocumented immigrants in this country literally deserve to be beaten and
You're going to
tortured.
dox me. Tell
Okay.
your people to dox me. Tell them.
Okay, I'm
Tell
going to
them
go and
dox
finish
me.
speaking, Kelly. So, I mean, this guy's literally a fascist. Earlier, he was saying that he literally supports undocumented immigrants in this country being literally beaten and tortured to scare away more entry. And now you're telling me that you don't trust the outcome of the civil court because there's just simply a civil
Beaten and
liability
tortured.
claim. I have a question.
Are you
What is
seeing
a
what
standard of evidence
Beaten
that
and
civil
tortured
courts
Dean.
uphold?
Are you seeing the things that you do to people? You put words in people's mouth, beaten and tortured. I support that. What
Yeah,
the
yeah, you
fuck?
told us that you
Dean,
support
what the fuck
that.
is wrong with you?
Oh,
Why
do
are
you want to
putting things in
revise?
people's
Do you want to
mouth?
revise the
Look
answer
at
to my
you
question
act.
previously?
Look at
Because
you arguing
feel free to
in good
feel free
faith.
to revise your
Be a
argument.
man. Be a man. Say, be factual.
I don't know
Beaten
what this
and-
guy's
what
going
the
off
fuck?
about.
Are
Do
you
you want
serious?
to
What the
revise your
fuck is
earlier
wrong with you?
argument?
What
Because
the fuck is wrong
your
with you?
earlier argument, your earlier argument, Kelly, was that you
Beaten and
support.
tortured.
Yes. Your earlier argument was that you support Bruno
What?
Garcia being beaten and tortured in El Salvador, and you support
say that.
the treatment
I-
of alligator
Kelly
Alcatraz.
Desastre, I
You're
say
still
that.
interrupting me. let's count down from 5 here. I'm trying to repeat your argument, and you're just losing your shit and crying now. Can you act your age, Kelly?
I'm not crying. I'm just laughing. You're so weak. But okay.
Wait,
go
I'm
on.
so sorry. I'm the
Go on.
weak one when I'm just simply
Put
trying to
things-
have a
put things in
cool,
my mouth.
common,
Yeah, yeah,
productive
put things
debate
in my
with you,
mouth.
and you're like fucking
it's okay.
freaking out.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm the
Put
weak
things in my
one,
mouth.
like the one that
Yeah,
has
you're
control of their
weak.
emotionals is weak. No, I get it, man. Keep calling people 10 times smarter than you'll ever be weak, dude. It'll really get you far in society. I understand that it's a natural, normal human reaction to get upset when somebody is proving you wrong. Humans just do that. I do it too sometimes. But I want to try to leave that reaction aside because the purpose of this space is to have productive dialogue to further constructive conversation. Now, if you can't handle that because you're obviously crashing out right now, feel free to leave my live and to go into another live where that's acceptable. But here we really are just looking for productive dialogue. But I'm now going to go back to my point without interruption this time. So yeah, earlier your argument was, and I quote, that you support the conditions that Donald Trump has put undocumented immigrants into because you think it scares away more undocumented entry. Is that what you said? Yes or no, Kelly?
I said I support the tactic, right?
Right. Right.
So,
you support the
according
tactic.
to-
No, you support the
Hold on,
tactic.
hold on, hold
Exactly.
on, hold on,
Thank you for
Dean.
clarifying. And what have those tactics been? Those tactics have been to illegally deport Abrigo Garcia
I'm
to
not
El
even
Salvador.
finished my sentence. You've interrupted me. What the fuck?
Because that's all. You just answered my question, man. What have the tactics been? The tactics have been to illegally deport Abrigo Garcia to El Salvador, where he was beaten and tortured for 3 weeks. The tactics have been to round up undocumented immigrants and throw them in alligator Alcatraz, where they're fed 1 meal a day, some of those meals having maggots in them. The tactics have been to illegally deport Venezuelan immigrants without due process after a federal judge told the administration not to, back to El Salvador. The tactics have been to black bag college students with expired student visas and take them 1,000 miles away to a detention facility, even after a local judge ruled that they couldn't take her more than 45 miles away. Those are the tactics. So when I told you that you're a fascist because you support, undocumented immigrants being beaten and tortured and fed 1 meal a day with maggots in them, no, I wasn't kidding, and I wasn't wrong either, because now you've reaffirmed that you support these tactics of the Trump administration. Now, if you'd like to backwalk, right, walk that back and say that you actually don't support that tactics, I think that would be a great thing for you to do. But then we'll just be back to square one of us having no clue why you support Trump.
Oh, bully. Anyway, before you cut me short, I said I clearly said I support the tactic of. I said 2 things, only 2. 1, alligator Alcatraz. 2, I think it's something that was brokered during the Biden administration, but Trump enforced it, sending in troops from Mexico and also this from Canada, something like that, right? At the border to strengthen the border, to scare them away. I only mentioned those 2. Then your big fucking head went on and stipulated things that I didn't even mention. I don't know, being beaten, Abrego Garcia. I didn't even mention Abrego Garcia. I don't give a fuck about that guy. I only mentioned 2 things, and let's stick to those 2 things. I appreciate those tactics that Trump used. Those 2. I didn't mention any other thing. But Dean Withers likes putting things in people's mouths just to call them fascists, racists, bigots. They're just the liberals, you fucking liberals. And you expect me to ever join the Democratic Party, even if I had a thought of joining you guys? Nothing like that. I'll always be Republican. Because you guys, when I disagree with you.
The more he
yes,
talks, the smarter
fascist,
I feel.
Bigot, racist. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? I said 2 things. Can we stick to those 2 things? The scare tactics in Alcatraz. Now, if the scare tactics in Alcatraz has harmed anyone in any way, come for me, Dean. Come for me. But it hasn't so far. There's no evidence of that. You wanted to go specifics. There's no specifics there. It's just a scare tactic, right? And I appreciate it, right? Every law needs to have consequences that people fear. That's where I'm coming from. And that's what I like about our society, right? The laws and the consequences. You must be a man, face up to your consequences. If I do something illegal, I'm ready for the consequences. And that's it. Case closed. Can we move on to the next topic, sir?
Okay, thank you so much for your points. So I have 2 points that I make clear. The first point that I'd like to make clear here is that you do, and I got banned? He got me banned for harassment and bullying. It was a guest violations. He got me banned, everybody. He got me banned for everybody over on YouTube. You got me banned, quite fucking frankly. Okay. All right, we're back with our main mic. Or maybe not. Let me check. Properties. Cool. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, he got us banned over on TikTok. We've been live for like 30 minutes. We're already down. Oh, good Lord. All right, everybody. He got us banned for harassment and bullying. We submitted the appeal. We'll see what that appeal has to say. Anyways, let's go ahead and break down his argument there. So, in a nutshell, that guy's argument was that he just supports like torturing people that break the law. And I mean, I was hoping that conversation could have furthered because you know what the next point would have been? Because he was very clear there. He said that he thinks every crime should have a harsh and swift punishment to prevent people from committing that crime. Well, the 34 felony counts that Donald Trump was found guilty of. What should the harsh and swift punishment have been there? Because legally speaking, those were felonies. Okay, a felony is a crime offense. A felony criminal offense is going to be worse than a misdemeanor criminal offense. And what is undocumented entry considered a misdemeanor criminal offense? So, in other words, what Donald Trump did with his 34 felony counts was, legally speaking, significantly worse than undocumented entry since they're felonies. So this means that his 34 felonies would have called for a worse punishment than undocumented entry. And if he thinks an appropriate punishment for undocumented entry is going to be throwing you in alligator Alcatraz where you're fed one meal a day with maggots in it, well, I mean, what would the worst punishment be for Donald Trump's 34 felony counts? You know? And I really wish I could have asked him that, but, you know, he got our stream banned for harassment and bullying. So here we are, everybody. We have a handful of people to thank here. Everybody, just do give us a minute. Let's see. You guys have been so incredibly kind today. Sid! Oh my goodness gracious. Sid, thank you so much for the $100 donation over on Venmo. I want to see 1,000 Sid W's down below in that chat, everybody. Sid says, it's my birthday today, and honestly, being a part of this community has been one of the brightest parts of the past year. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, happy fucking birthday, Sid. Can we please show some love to Sid down below in that comment section? Thank you so freaking much, Sid. Thank you. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Sid, as well as happy freaking birthday. Sid, you are one of the most valuable members of the community. I really do appreciate you so much. It was also very nice meeting you down in Texas, and I hope you have a great birthday, seriously. As well as Alyssa, thank you for the $10 saying you look different today. What did you change? Well, I probably look different on my phone camera. I always look a little bit better on the phone camera than I do on this camera. I don't know why. As well as Blake, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Blake says, I've had a lot of life changes lately, including moving and losing my cat and dog within a month. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to thank you for giving me something positive to enjoy each day. You've given me hope during such a hard time. You mean a lot to me, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for the $10, Blake. As well as Jesse with the $2. Thank you so much, Jesse. And then Roger, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on Venmo. Thank you, Roger. Roger says, love your debates. You're my touchstone to logic and all of this craziness. That is so incredibly kind of you, Roger. Let's get 250 Roger W's down below. As well as Pop-Tart Kid 59 with the $50 super chat over on the YouTube stream. Pop-Tart Kid, now they didn't leave a message, only the love. Thank you so much for the kindness. That is so incredibly kind and awesome of you. All the love to you, Pop-Tart Kid. Show some love to Pop-Tart Kid down below in that comment section right now. Now, everybody, I really don't know what the plan is. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't know what the plan is. It looks like I have another account. It's titled It Might Be Dean. Maybe I could use this to do my lives. I don't know. We'll see, everybody. We'll see. Let's go ahead and just get it started. So I do have this one last little backup account, so I guess that's sweet. Yeah, no access on there. Fucking hell. Let's see if we could get access on the 6th account real quick. I'm going to go ahead and sign it into Live Studio. Let's see here. All right, scan to log in. Log in. All right, everybody. No access. Let's see what I need to do in order to get that live access. Your account use Live Studio right now? What the hell? Okay, no live access on there. I don't really know what we're going to do for the day, everybody. 6th account is insane. We have like around 1 billion accounts. I mean, it looks like we could use this one to do our debates. It's just going to have to be through, you know, the... Oh, shit. Wait, we might be good, everybody. We might be good, everybody. Okay. Matt is going to let us borrow his account for the day. So we could stream off of Live Studio and hop into the conversations. So I'm going to go to get that one figured out right now. We should be back to the debates here pretty soon. Jesus, thank you so much for the $51 over on PayPal. Jesus, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love. Let's see what Jesus has to say here. Jesus says, hi from Mexico again. Here's my monthly donation. Still my intellectual crush. Dude, Jesus, it is so good to have you back in here with us again for the day. Thank you so much for the kindness. Seriously, you are so awesome. Show some freaking love to Jesus down below in that comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome. That is so kind of you. That is so kind of you. And then we're also trying to get a handful of other issues worked out here. Let's see here. Okay. All right, guys. Phenomenal. So, Evan, thank you for the $5 saying, love you and your streams. Do you know the necessary conversation? It would be so cool to see you collab with him. I don't know, but I'll have to check him out. As well as Sharon with the $10 over on Super Chat saying, finding you in Parker is giving this old woman hope. I was afraid your generation had given up on us, but here you are standing up and speaking truth. Shannon, sorry, not Shannon, Sharon. That is such a kind message. Thank you so much for your kindness, Sharon. You are phenomenal. So now we are going to go ahead and sign into Matt's account, and we are going to use that to stream. So let's go ahead and do that now, everybody. We're going to be signing in over on TikTok Studio 7@gmail. I about just said the password out loud. Whoops. Good thing I didn't. All right, let's go ahead and get loaded in. And apparently the count doesn't exist. I misspelled it. There we go. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Oh my God, maximum number of attempts reached. Everybody. So I'm trying to sign in right now on the TikTok Studio, and it's telling me that I've had the maximum amount of attempts reached. Dude, the party stream crashed. The TikTok account got banned, and I can't even log into Matt's account because apparently it's the maximum amount of attempts reached. Oh my God. God, guys. Let's see if we can get this figured out. Log in. Yeah, maximum amount of attempts reached. Try again later. Oh, jeez. Okay. It's your sign to have a break, Dean. It actually might be. Maybe I just hop off for the day. I think that's actually a possibility. It's like what, 2:27? I could like go to the gym. I don't know. I haven't had like a so like every single day I have taken off recently. It's been like for an event, something I've had to do in person. Um, but I've never just taken a day off to take the day off, if that makes any sense. So maybe I just take the day off and maybe we just do that. Just have a vacation today. Yeah. I mean, I haven't done that in a while. Guys, I want to get back into the gym and whatnot. I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do it, though. I don't think I'm going to do it. We could, honestly, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and like position the microphone the way that I had it. Yeah, it's still bad, man. Rip. And I think that we're just going to go live off of one of our backup accounts, at It Might Be Dean on TikTok, and we're going to do some debates. I do think that we're going to cut it a little short today. So we're probably only going to do like an hour. Like right now it's 2:30. I think I'm just going to be on for an hour maybe. And then I'm going to go lift weights. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get out there and do shit. That actually sounds like pretty fun. I've been wanting to do that for a while. So is Parker going live today? I don't know. Hopefully. I know that sadly Parker's dog Leah had passed. You know, he hasn't been taking it too well. He's doing a lot better now, but I mean, I'd assume that he'll be live later. Make sure to show him love when he is live. All right, I'm going to get everything resituated here. Just give me a second. Test, test, test. Are we good? Okay, we need to figure out the quality of the microphone. How's the volume sound like right here? How's the volume sound? Are we sounding all right? We sounding good? That sounded all right, everybody? I know that we got the sound back now. Yo, Monkey, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. They're saying the GOAT. Appreciate you for the love, Monkey. Show some love to Monkey down below. We're sounding good? Okay. We're going to go live on at It Might Be Dean on TikTok. So we're on like our last backup account, unfortunately. We got the live started. I'm going to go ahead and, broadcast this out on Instagram and Discord. Everyone just give us a second here. We're going to go ahead and get to business right now, everybody. Live talking to MAGA on YouTube. There it is. Find me on TikTok at It Might Be Dean. 6th account. There we go. We send it out in the Instagram, everybody. We're also going to go ahead and send it out in the Discord. Everyone. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Can somebody, hey, welcome in everybody. I appreciate you guys for being here. For everybody tuning in over on the TikTok live stream, real quick, can you guys tell me if I have the link tree in my bio on this TikTok account? Can you guys tell me if I have that? Do I have the link tree in my bio over here on TikTok? Yes. Yes. Phenomenal. Okay, awesome. For everybody tuning in over on TikTok, I apologize for a little bit of a delayed start. It looks like TikTok is back to being incredibly restrictive with those bans. So unfortunately, we are now pushed back to our 6th and last account. It is what it is, but here we are. So for everybody tuning into the live stream, I really appreciate you for being here. Make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen in all seriousness. Thank you guys so much. As well as make sure that we're sharing out this live with a handful of friends, everybody. We really need to do absolutely anything and everything in our power to ensure that we can get this live to push out across that For You page to draw the Trump supporters in here to debate. So Now that we already have people piling into the TikTok live stream, once again, if you're watching on YouTube or on at It Might Be Dean, we are going to go ahead and get that very first guest up of the day. So right now, go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump. We're going to get you up here. Make sure that is the only reason why you're in the queue. I'd really appreciate it if the only people joining that queue are Trump supporters. That'd be great. What is going on, Mitch? Do you support Trump? I will take that as a yes. Why? Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Just gotta give us a minute here, y'all. We got Natalie Brand loading up into the stream, guys. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen over on TikTok, guys. What's going on, Natalie? Do you support Trump? Natalie is not here. Goodbye, Natalie. Go ahead and put a MAGA down below in that chat if you support Trump. We're going to go ahead and get you pulled up here right now. We are on the backup account, so I think it is going to be quite difficult to get anybody in here to debate for the day, but it is what it is. That's what it is. Welcome in, Izzy. Do you support Trump?
Oh my god, I love you!
Bye, Izzy. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Just looking for Trump supporters. We got Verse loading up, and it doesn't look like Verse wants to connect. What about Victoria? Victoria spamming MAGA down below in that chat. We're going to get Victoria and Angie up in here. What's going on, Victoria? You said that you were MAGA down below. How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18. What about you, Angie? How old are you? Okay, Angie left. It's just you, Victoria. You said that you're 18 and that you support Trump. Why do you support Trump?
I feel like he's gonna benefit our country
Okay.
compared
How
to
so?
Kamala Harris.
How's he going to benefit the country?
Maybe the BBB
The Big Beautiful Bill. Okay. Why are you a fan of the Big Beautiful Bill?
for the tax cuts that it provides for the majority of Americans.
Oh, majority of Americans. Spot off. Wrong, quite frankly. So the average American makes an income of $47,000 per year. Now, the Big Beautiful Bill, according to projections from the CBPP, will reduce the after-tax income of everybody making around $51,000 and below due to its cuts to SNAP benefits, to Medicaid, to clean energy credits, etc. So all in all, the BBB is a bill that nobody should support because not only is it the most expensive bill ever passed through the American Congress at $4 trillion, but it's also projected to cut 17 million people off of Medicaid, 3 million people off of food stamp benefits, increase the cost of energy for the average household by $400 per year, and so on and so on and so on and so on.
I don't know. That just doesn't sound right. Like, I don't feel like he would pass a bill if it's gonna harm the majority of Americans. He wants to do what's better for the country, and it just doesn't make sense for him passing a bill that's gonna hurt a majority of the country. He's gonna lose support if he did something like that. So
I hate to be
I
that
don't
guy,
think.
but this isn't a counter argument. Because I'm telling you how it's going to hurt people through the cuts to SNAP
Do
and
you have
Medicaid and
sources
so
for that?
on. Yeah, for sure. Like the text of the Big Beautiful Bill is what would detail the cuts. And then the projections of how this will affect the after-tax income of people is going to be from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities as well as the Congressional Budget Office. You know, he's cutting $1 trillion, 1.1 trill for Medicaid and imposing work requirements on Medicaid as well. That's going to have a massive impact, kick 17 million people off in the next 10 years, either because they can't work 80 hours a month, can't prove they work 80 hours a month, or the increased premiums due to the cuts will be too expensive for them. As well, it's going to reduce enrollment by 4.3 million people over that same time span. These are the facts, Victoria.
I think I'm gonna have to do some more research on that topic because I don't know. I just don't feel like that is the correct information. So I might have to do some more digging into that on my own time.
I mean, feel free, but
But
I feel like you have these rose-colored glasses on as it relates to Trump, you know, saying like, oh, Dean, if you're right, he wouldn't pass it because it hurt so many people. Donald Trump has insistently been making decisions since 2015 that hurt a shit ton of people. Okay, we need to make
if
that
that
one
was
clear.
true, he wouldn't have as much supporters as he did now.
I doubt that. I mean, we have to be able to recognize the facts. Like, we can't just deny that he tried to silence the voice and the vote of every citizen in 2020, even though he admitted to it, because people still support him today. In fact, the
Like
fact that people still support him today after he tried to rig the 2020 election is a fact that perplexes me, speaks towards how the media is able to propagandize the Plato brains of so many Americans. And this shouldn't just be a reason to deny everything that he's done. Facts over feelings, Victoria.
Honestly, the fact is, if Trump was doing something that was going to hurt a majority of the Americans, like say, let's say for example, he said that he was going to pass like a order that would murder like half of the citizens in the country, people would not support that if they knew it wouldn't if they knew it was something that wouldn't benefit them. Like they would vote for something that they
Victoria,
know
are
is
you an
going to benefit
example
them.
of how like people can still support a bill that would hurt them? Like you said that you're 18. I'm guessing that you don't make above 51K per year, right?
No, I don't.
So this bill will hurt you. But
I
even
don't
after
notice
I've
anything
given you
that's
the
harming me.
facts, Victoria, even after I've given you the facts, the sources, the information, the citations, you don't think it will hurt you for literally no reason apart from the fact that you're a member of a cult. So
I haven't
I think
noticed
that this
anything different in
conversation,
my.
I think that this conversation actually speaks towards a broader issue in America that is leading Americans astray and causing them to support a candidate that hurts them. And even worse here, you know, low income Americans are more likely to be Republican than Democrat. And low income Americans, I'm talking about people making 20, 30, 35K per year with children, they're going to be hurt the most by this bill, and they still disproportionately support Trump.
Well, the thing is, for me, I haven't noticed anything that like directly affects my income, my taxes, my like the gas prices, so it doesn't affect me in any way.
Well, Victoria, the bill was signed
So,
into effect like last week. I think the cuts to Medicaid are going to take 2 years to be implemented, as well as the cuts to SNAP have already been made. But you know, the states are now reorganizing how they want to dish out those incentives, and obviously,
so
you
you're
know,
saying
you're
it's
not
gonna you're
in
saying it's gonna
school
impact
anymore.
me over time? Is that your
It's
argument?
going
That's
to
gonna
impact the
impact me
average
over
person in
time?
your income bracket over time. Yeah.
I don't see how.
Bro, I've given you all the
Like what?
resources, Victoria. I'm sorry that you'd want to play the nuh-uh game. We're here to discuss facts, reason, and logic. So if your counter argument is nuh-uh, I just suggest that you look into the sources that I gave you and we discuss something else. Because right now you're being delusional.
Okay, then do you want to discuss mass deportation?
Sure, are you a fan of mass deportation?
Um, I would say so.
You are? Okay. Well, I have a great question for you, Victoria. In
Okay,
fact,
what's that?
this is the best question ever asked to anybody
What's that?
ever. What is one positive outcome of mass deportation on America? Be specific.
Better security,
Better security? What
national
do you mean?
security.
More national security? How so?
I'm saying better
Better
national
national security?
security. Yes.
Excuse me. How so?
We would be able to identify the people who are in here,
Oh,
and we
okay.
would be we would be able to keep records on them.
Okay, so you support mass deportation for a purpose of national security by being able to identify everybody in the country. Well, if your concern here is a desire to identify everybody in the country, you actually shouldn't support mass deportation because there's a significantly more effective way to identify every undocumented immigrant in this country. That more effective way would be mass amnesty, right? Obviously, the
Can you
millions
explain?
of undocumented immigrants that are in this country are going to be more willing to cooperate and work with a plan of mass amnesty that benefits them, giving them the ability to file for a tax return, get a driver's license, get a loan from most banks, or qualify for Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security more than they'd be willing to cooperate with a mass deportation, which is going to rip families apart and send undocumented immigrants to detention centers in El Salvador. So now that we've discovered an easier way to identify every undocumented immigrant in this country, do you no longer support mass
You're saying you want to
deportation?
make them citizens. You're saying that you want to make them citizens. That means you're just giving a pass to all the violence or the all the violent offenders in this country by giving them a pass to citizenship,
Well, no,
and
the
all
only
people are
person who gave a
free.
pass to a violent offender here is you when you made Trump an adjudicated rapist president. For
I didn't
undocumented
vote.
immigrants with prior violent offenses, I think that they should be deported or put in jail.
Dean, I didn't vote.
Well, you support him today. I guess one and the same, right, Victoria?
I mean, I didn't vote for him, so I didn't really make a direct effect.
Oh, so
But I do
so you
support
agree
him.
that voting for Trump is giving a violent offender a pass?
No, because I don't agree that he's a violent offender.
No, I mean, he was only held liable for the violent sexual abuse of a woman. That's a pretty violent offense, right?
Held liable, right? He wasn't convicted.
He was not convicted in a criminal court. He was held liable in a civil court. This is not giving me an explanation insofar as why you don't believe the determination of the civil court.
Is there any evidence?
Obviously.
And he would be locked up right now if that was actually the case.
No, you don't know how civil courts work. Don't say things with no evidence. Civil courts determine financial responsibility, meaning that when he was found guilty by the unanimous jury of 9, he was forced to pay his victim $4 million for the essay and $82 million for the defamation. Don't speak
Is the
before
victim
you
that
think.
you're is the victim in question Eugene Carroll
Yes.
that you're mentioning? Can you explain like the whole like what happened with Eugene Carroll
Yeah, for sure.
that would
In
make him a
1993,
violent?
Donald Trump raped her. And then in 2019, she publicly spoke about it and took him to court and was able to convince the anonymous jury of 9 that he raped her.
What took her all those years to come up
Mm,
and
mm-hmm,
accuse him of
mm.
this?
Great, great, great. Well, 60% of women that get raped never report it to the authorities in their lifetime. I don't know why we are blaming somebody for waiting 23 years, but in
I'm not
court,
blaming her. I'm
in,
just I'm
in
just
court, she
asking the question.
indicated it's because she was too embarrassed to have her parents know she was raped by one of the most powerful men in New York, so she waited for her parents to die before she wrote about it.
That's pretty sad.
It's incredibly sad, Victoria.
I don't really think that he's a violent. I don't think he's a rapist though, because there's no solid evidence of this.
There's no solid evidence of this.
Solid.
Okay, what's the evidence? Go ahead and tell me the evidence that she submitted to that court that the jury used to hold him liable.
Wasn't there like a dress or something?
No.
Or
The
it was
dress
just a
was
dress
never
in her
submitted as a
testimony.
piece of evidence to the court. So I mean, you don't even know the evidence used by the court, but you don't think there's enough.
Enlighten me, tell me.
That kind of seems like a little bit of a cultish claim.
What's your evidence
I'll
that
happily tell
that
you what
she
the
wasn't
evidence
being?
was inside of the civil court after you could recognize that you just said there wasn't enough evidence, even though you don't know the evidence. Actually, can you explain that to me?
I'm saying that
Why
there
did you?
wasn't concrete
Wait,
evidence. That's what I'm
but you
saying.
don't
That there
know a
wasn't
single piece
concrete
of
evidence.
evidence that the jury used to find him guilty. So how could you know that there's
I
not
just
enough
gave you the evidence.
evidence?
I just gave you the evidence that I'm aware of, which involves
The
the
dress
dress
was
and her
not a
testimony.
piece of evidence that was ever submitted to the court.
Okay, then what was the evidence?
Once
If
again,
it wasn't the dress and her
we'll go
testimony, then
over
what
the
was it?
evidence. We'll go over the evidence, but I just want to clarify: why are you saying there wasn't enough evidence when you don't know the evidence?
Because as far as I'm aware, all I knew that was involved in her testimony was the dress and her own like whatever she said about Donald Trump when she came up with the whole grape thing.
So you're still not answering my question. You're just saying that,
What's the
oh, you
question?
thought that there wasn't enough evidence, but how could you possibly think that there wasn't enough evidence without knowing the
I'm
evidence?
saying based off of everything that I knew concerning the case of Eugene Carroll.
But
That's
you don't
what I
know a single piece of evidence that was submitted to the court. I asked you if you knew one, and you don't.
Dean, I was saying that the dress was the only thing that I was aware of, plus her testimony. And now you're saying that
Okay,
the dress
well,
wasn't involved. Now I'm asking you to tell me what evidence
we'll
that you
go ahead and
know.
go over the reason. I just
Dean, you're
seriously,
the one who said that she got.
I want to drill in that point really hard. There is so many Trump supporters, Victoria included, that will claim E. Jean Carroll was a crazy liar and Trump is innocent and there wasn't enough evidence, and then know nothing about the
Dean, I'm
facts of
not
the court
saying I'm
case.
not saying that it was true or not. Like you're the one who accused him of being a rapist, so the burden of proof is on you, not me.
Well, I
Like I
mean,
already told you,
I
as
gave
far
you
as
the
I'm
proof,
aware, that
a unanimous decision from a jury of 9 inside of a civil court after 2 to 3 years of deliberation during discovery. So, I mean, I think I provided to you the proof. Now, if we want to go
Dean,
into the proof that was disposed in the case, we're going to be looking at medical records from the 90s where she indicated she was raped by Trump, consistency between said medical records, her own testimony, as well as the testimony of 7 of her friends, alongside the fact that Donald Trump said they had never met, in which E. Jean Carroll then submitted a picture of E. Jean Carroll with Donald Trump together, proving him wrong. Donald Trump said that he would never have raped her because she wasn't his type, but then he confused a picture of him and his ex-wife with a picture of him and E. Jean Carroll, so obviously she was his type, or his ex-wife wasn't his type.
honestly, that's
I
that's
am Mia.
fucking
Thank you so
crazy.
much for the summer.
Like
Go ahead.
you're saying he confused a picture of Eugene Carroll and mixed it up with his wife.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucking insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Um, I mean, I just think that it proves that obviously she was his type, after saying that he never would have raped her because apparently she wasn't his type.
Didn't Eugene Carroll get like a 9 million or I don't know the exact number, but she got a big ass payout from this whole like situation.
$87 million.
87 million.
Yeah, that's what happens when a billionaire grapes you and then lies about not graping you.
Why do you have to pay her?
Because he was found
Like,
guilty. That's why.
I don't understand. Like, you're saying it happened when 1980 what?
1996.
1996, and
Yeah.
then literally like a decade later, he has to pay her for this thing that happened.
2 decades later. Yeah. Precisely.
That makes no fucking sense.
What doesn't make sense about this? What can I help clarify on?
So you're saying 2 decades later that the jury suddenly convicted Trump of this crime that happens
I mean,
two
it
decades
wasn't
later
suddenly,
after.
it wasn't random. It's because she finally decided to pursue litigation against him after he had defamed her on live TV. So the way that we originally
What did he
found,
do to her on live TV?
well, once her parents died, and she finally felt comfortable speaking about the fact that the richest man in New York had raped her, she included that in a book that she wrote. Then Donald Trump went on live TV and called her crazy, said the book was shit, yada, yada, yada. And then she was like, hey, that's defamation because what I'm saying is true. I'm not lying. This is true. So then she sued him for the defamation and for the original action of grape. And she won on both counts.
She won with evidence, correct? So what evidence was provided when she went up to these judges?
Well, now we're
And
going in a circle because I was telling you that, and then you interrupted me to ask about one of the pieces of
all you
evidence.
said was that a unanimous jury of 9 convicted him of this, but I'm
That,
asking what the evidence
that's
was.
not what I said. I went over the specific evidence. I'll go over it again. So yeah, we had medical records from the 90s that indicated she was raped by Donald Trump. And then we had consistency between said records, her own testimony, and the testimony of 7 others. As well as we had the fact that he claimed they never met, in which she then responded to that by providing a picture of them together. We also have the fact that he claimed that he would have done anything to her because she wasn't his type, but then confused a picture of his ex-wife as a picture of E. Jean Carroll and him. And then on top of that, E. Jean Carroll claimed to have the dress that she was raped in by him, and it claimed that it had his DNA on it to prove it. It was
Bro,
tested
that's what the
by.
fuck I was talking
It
about
was
earlier when I brought up the dress, and then you said there was no dress involved. I
Well,
brought up the dress,
it
and then you
wasn't a
said,
submitted piece of evidence, and if you didn't interrupt me, you would already know by now why it wasn't a submitted piece of evidence. It's very relevant.
but
She
now you're
claimed,
bringing it up again, even though I brought that up like 5 minutes ago, and you just blew it off.
well, because
So
you were
why is that suddenly
categorizing it
relevant?
as a piece of evidence inside of the courtroom. It was never a piece of evidence inside of the courtroom. And the reason it was never a piece of evidence inside of the courtroom is because when she tried to submit it as a piece of evidence into the courtroom, the judge said, well, this would require us to test the unknown male DNA on the dress against Trump's DNA. So then the judge was like,
Hmm.
hey, Trump, can you submit your DNA to be tested against the DNA on the dress? Trump said, no, I'm not going to do that. And because of that, the judge denied the dress as being admissible in court as a piece of evidence. Right? And I
Okay,
find this to be
so
incredibly indicative of his guilt. Imagine that you were driving, it's sober, and a cop pulled you
mhm,
over suspecting you of drunk driving, and they offered you to take a breathalyzer to prove your innocence. Would you do it?
I would, yes.
Now imagine that you were driving drunk, and a cop pulls you over, and they offered you a breathalyzer to prove that you weren't drunk. Keep in mind that you don't have to take this breathalyzer. If you were drunk, would you take the breathalyzer?
No, I wouldn't.
Right. So, in other words, an innocent person would cooperate with what will prove their innocence. A guilty person will not. And E. Jean Carroll made a very stark and clear claim that this is the dress she was raped in. This dress has Trump's DNA on it. She wants to submit it to court as a piece of evidence. If Trump was innocent and he obliged with the judge's request to submitting his DNA to be tested against the DNA on the dress, well, he would have been cleared of all charges. Instead, he said, "No, I'm not going to submit
So
my DNA to the
did he just
court."
say no, or was there like any actual reason?
He just said no.
So he just straight up denied?
He just denied it. He had the legal right to. And see, the preponderance of all
I'm
these facts makes it clear that he's guilty. And this is also clearly why all 9 jurors agreed.
okay.
See, it's clear as fuck. Dude's guilty.
I think I might have to do a little more like digging into the whole Eugene Carroll case on my own time, but
Okay.
based on like the facts and all that like information that you gave me, there is a good chance that if what you're saying is true, that I would believe that.
Right. And this just kind
Yeah.
of brings us back to the original point where, you were telling me how mass amnesty would just allow violent offenders to be in the country. Well, I'd say those people should be thrown in jail or deported. But point number two, the only people that are allowing a violent offender any power in this country are those that support Trump. They put a rapist in the most powerful position available to any human alive.
Yeah, but the thing is, Trump is one person, and the illegal immigrants, they make a big majority of our country. So we don't know just how many violent offenders that we're allowing to just reside in our country. That's the
You
difference.
weren't listening to me. I said that we should deport undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses.
Okay. So why do you think mass amnesty is better than just the mass deportation and getting rid of all the illegal immigrants?
Sure, because mass deportation hurts our economy. It reduces GDP growth by an estimated 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion dollars per year, according to the Center on American Progress, as well as it reduces taxable revenue from anywhere from $100 billion to $300 billion per year. The reason why is because 8.3 million undocumented immigrants work in the labor force. In fact, they're more likely to work than citizens. So when you remove them all, you destabilize those industries, you make our economy less productive on the supply side, as well as the demand side, because there's 12 million undocumented consumers. This amounts to a significantly weaker economy with producers, which are significantly less efficient, a shrinking taxable revenue for a federal government, and that also will cause an increase in poverty, thereby also causing an increase in crime. These are all really good reasons not to support mass deportation. How does this reflect on mass amnesty?
You always mention the whole crime thing, but the fact is any crime that's committed by an undocumented immigrant is a crime that was never supposed to happen in the first place.
All crimes were never supposed to happen in the first place.
No, like it could have been, I'm saying it could have been prevented completely in the case of undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, but if we do a mass deportation, the total amount of crimes being committed is higher. So would you rather have a lower amount of crimes or a higher amount of crimes?
Obviously, a lower amount of
Right,
crimes. I
right.
don't
So
think anybody wants crime.
whatever that talking point was, it doesn't even matter. Mass deportation leads to a higher total amount of crimes.
I'm saying like if they just didn't come in here in the first place,
Okay, if they weren't here
that
in
there
the
would be
first
less
place,
crimes
there would be a
overall.
total less amount of crimes. Sure. How does this inform us about why mass deportation is better than mass amnesty? The fact of the matter is that there is undocumented immigrants in this country. The fact of the matter is that removing them will destabilize our economy, shrink it, and cause more crime. And the fact of the matter is that offering those without prior violent offenses, prior like crazy nonviolent offenses or outstanding warrants from other countries will make our economy even more productive, increase real median wages by giving them more bargaining power against their employer to get and garner higher wages. It'll lead to more taxable revenue since they'll be more incentivized to work over the table since they can file for return or claim federal benefits. It's significantly better for everybody all around. So, in lieu of all these facts that
Don't they?
condemn mass deportation and paint it to be the atrocious policy that it is, and describe how mass amnesty is truly the great policy that it is, why do you support deportation over amnesty?
There's also the fact that they fill these j like jobs that citizens could have taken over. Like they have these high paying jobs while citizens just don't because they're already taken by the illegal immigrants.
Okay. Justify that claim.
What do you mean justify it? Like explain how they're taking jobs?
When you say taking jobs, do you just mean productively providing to the American economy to grow our country and to increase GDP per capita, to produce more goods, to invigorate American manufacturers, to put this country first on the global stage, to make this country
No.
stronger? No,
No,
that's
your
not
whole
what you mean.
claim, your whole claim
No.
is
See,
America
see, like
first.
so, like it
So
used to be. It
the
used to be the idea that undocumented immigrants were lazy freeloaders that lived off the government. But now that
I
some
never
facts,
thought that.
now that some facts have gone mainstream about how they're more likely to participate in the labor force and they pay
I
taxes
never thought that.
disproportionate to citizens while claiming less benefits, all of a sudden that's the issue. So what's the
No.
problem with mass amnesty? I still haven't heard a response from you, Victoria.
I was just telling you these jobs that are filled by illegal immigrants are spots that American cit or U.S. citizens could have
So you
taken,
think if we
but they
remove them all
can't now.
tomorrow, they'd be filled by citizens?
Realistically, they're not going to be removed tomorrow. It's going to be like a progressive thing.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Americans aren't going to fill those open job opportunities. How many undocumented immigrants work?
There's a lot of U.S. citizens who are trying to
How
find
how many
well-paying
how many
jobs.
undocumented immigrants work?
Around 11 million, I
No.
believe.
No, 8.3 million.
More,
And how many open job opportunities are there?
tell me.
8 million. So if Americans can't fill the 8 million job opportunities that already exist without mass deportation, what makes you think they'd be able to fill the 8.3 million open job opportunities created by mass deportation?
Did you ever think that these jobs that are already filled by these illegal immigrants are high-paying jobs, and these remaining jobs, these 8 million that are remaining, might be very low-paying jobs that people do not want to
Actually, undocumented immigrants get
participate
paid
in?
lower on average.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, I can explain that. Like they have less bargaining
Okay.
power to use and hold against their employer because they don't have a legal permanent residency or status of citizenship. Because of
Even
that, it's easier to
so,
exploit them and pay them lower wages. That's why we see undocumented immigrants garnering lower wages on average. They're literally being exploited by their employers. Thank you for allowing me to explain that to you.
even so, the wages wouldn't be drastically lower. It might be a
Quote
little
unquote,
bit
even
because, of
so, the
course, the
wages want to be drastically lower. How is that a response to my question? How would Americans fill the 8.3 million job
because
opportunities that
they
would
would
be
still be
created via
getting
mass
paid,
deportation if they can't fill the 8
they would
million open
still be
job
getting
opportunities
paid
that already
more.
exist?
Can we agree that a doctor gets paid more than a McDonald's worker?
Yes.
So even if let's say an illegal immigrant worked a job as a doctor and their employer paid them less, like just a little bit less, they would still be making like way more than a McDonald's worker.
So typically,
So they,
undocumented immigrants can't get hired as a doctor.
I was
Unfortunately,
I was
like
giving a
most of those
hypothetical.
positions
Uh,
would require citizenship. Um,
I was giving a
I
hypothetical, not.
okay. Well,
I know it's
well,
not realistic.
the
I was giving a
hypothetical didn't
hypothetical
track
one.
with reality.
No, I'm just saying on average,
Okay, what is your
like there's
point?
a ton of.
How about this? Condense your point down to like 2 minutes here. Why mass amnesty is bad and mass deportation is good.
So back to my original point, I was saying that these illegal immigrants, they take up these high-paying jobs that citizens could have taken over, but they can't because of the fact that there's already an immigrant in that spot.
Oh, okay.
And an American won't want to take a low-paying job compared to.
you want a higher GDP per capita and you want a more successful economy with more Americans working higher paying jobs.
Yeah, I want citizens to prosper.
Thank you for describing mass amnesty. The reason that we'd have a more successful economy with a higher GDP per capita, with more Americans working higher paying jobs, is because if we offer undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship, they have more bargaining power to hold against their employer. Think about it like a union would give individuals in the union more bargaining power to hold against their employer. Thereby, they'd be able to garner higher wages on average, thereby making wages more competitive in a positive direction, thereby leading to higher GDP per capita, and thereby leading to higher wages on average for Americans. Now, if you want to just remove these people from the economy, we'll likely see a lower GDP per capita with lower wages for Americans. The reason why I say that is because the economy would just be weaker. We'd have less goods produced, our manufacturers would be less productive, as well as we'd have significantly less consumers to buy those goods in the first place. Things are going to be more stagnant. People are going to be wanting to get out there to work to get a job that exists because there's going to be less job opportunities that do exist because there's less of demands for the goods, commodities, or services these jobs create. GDP falls. America suffers.
Was Kamala gonna do this?
Kamala,
Like
that's
the
how you
whole
pronounce her name.
Kamala. My bad. What I was Kamala Harris gonna did
So,
Kamala Harris support mass amnesty?
so the but Kamala tactic is something that I absolutely will talk to you about after we finish our conversation off about why you shouldn't support mass deportation as a whole, regardless of who's implementing it.
Wait, can you say that again?
We could talk about what Kamala Harris wanted to do after you like concede that mass deportation is bad.
I don't think I can do that
Why not? I've given you all the facts.
because I
What's holding you back?
my original point, like with crime and the jobs.
Crime rates go up with mass deportation. There's a total nominal higher level of crime as well as higher crime rates because poverty goes up and a lot of crime as a result of poverty. So, I mean, now you definitely should concede because if you're still caught up on crime, well, guess what? Mass deportation causes more crime. It'd be the last thing that you'd support. Now, I know that's not, the response that you're going to give us here. You're going to find some way to weasel out of it. So just don't pretend that crime is too important to you.
Crime is important to me. I don't want more
You,
crime
you support policy
and
that's going to cause more crime.
it's not going to cause more crime.
I've already given you the argument 3 times. I'll give it to you a fourth. How mass deportation will cause more crime is by weakening the economy through all the suggestions that I've already made. With a weaker economy comes higher levels of poverty. A lot of crime is a direct consequence of poverty. Thereby, with higher levels of poverty, we'd see higher levels of crime.
The thing is, even after mass deportation, if the economy was to suffer, it would still rebound. Like it would take some time to rebound, but the U.S. citizens would still
What do
be
you mean
more
by rebound?
successful and cross.
I don't know. I think that people,
Like your
because you
argument
understand that
is
you're wrong, right? Because that
your
restriction of the removal of undocumented immigrants, for as long as it exists, the economy will forever be worse than if it never occurred in the first place. There's no such thing as a rebound. You can't just replace the 12 million consumers on the demand side of the economy that were deported. And if you think that
they
you
could
can
always
replace
come
them
back
through
in.
production, well, then it is the case.
They
When
could
we do
always come back in
reproduce
through
those 12
legal
million
means.
consumers, well, at the end of the day, if we didn't do that original mass deportation, we'd have 12 million more consumers.
They could always come back in through legal means and
So,
legal entry
so,
and
so
legal
now
ports.
you're finally getting to the point of why we want these people in the country. Now you're saying they could come back in and be in the country and work a job. Victoria, that's what I've been saying the whole time. That's why I support mass amnesty. See my point now? Right? Would you rather have
I'm saying
would
they
you
could go
rather
through
would you rather
legal
have
ports of
would you
entry
would you rather
instead
have
of being
short-term pain with long-term gain by a mass deportation or short-term gain and long-term gain by mass amnesty? Because at the end of the day, both you and me want these immigrants to become residents or citizens that work in the economy to make America better. You just want to send them out of the country first, spend $2 trillion to get it done, hit our GDP to get
Dean,
it
your
done,
your
cause
whole mass
havoc
amnesty
and
thing is
human rights violations to get it done. Meanwhile, I, the pragmatic individual in this conversation, is like, well, why would we just unnecessarily destroy the economy in the short term and spend trillions of dollars to get it done to remove them first, to send them back to the
Dean.
southern border, and just offer them mass amnesty or a pathway to residency or citizenship where they could continue to work their job, continue to pay taxes, continue to uphold the GDP, continue to uphold a higher GDP per capita, continue to uphold our manufacturers, to continue to buy goods in our
Dean,
economy, et cetera, et cetera, et
your
cetera,
whole
et cetera, et
mass,
cetera.
can I talk? Your whole mass amnesty thing, another reason why I don't really support it is because you're basically letting all these people or all these illegal immigrants skip the line. And then what about the people who are still at the ports of entry
Yeah,
waiting to
you
get
offer them
in
the same
and
mass
become a
amnesty,
legal citizen?
Victoria. You offer them that same expedited pathway to residency or citizenship, Victoria. It's not
The
skipping the
people
line
who
if
are
everybody
already
falls
in,
into that same line.
And didn't you have an argument about making the legal ports of entry more obtainable or like easier?
That's what I'm talking about. You just said it'd be unfair if we just offered the mass amnesty to the
I'm
undocumented
saying the
immigrants that
people
are
who are
already in this
already in
country.
here.
You give that same expedited pathway to residency or citizenship to the immigrants trying to legally immigrate into this country. Yeah,
I'm talking about the people who are already in here.
I was too. But then you started talking about how that's unfair to the people that aren't in here yet. So I gave you my position there too. Also, I think
I
it's a
think
little
what we
bit. Also, by the way, the whole idea that mass amnesty is unfair to legal immigrants is pure fucking bullshit. Because we just discussed around a billion ways why it is the case that mass deportation hurts this country and makes it weaker, and
Dean,
how
you're
mass
talking about
amnesty
people who are
helps
out of
this
the country, but
country
I'm talking about people.
shut up and makes it stronger. So those legal immigrants, what's more fair to them? Have them wait 20 years
Let's
to
not be
come into a
disrespectful.
country that is strong with a functional economy that's serving to everybody's best interests, or an economy that is weak with a reduction in our GDP, with lower wages, with less jobs?
Wait.
Obviously, the country with more jobs, a higher GDP, and a higher quality of life for the average American is going to be more fair as a country for these legal immigrants to walk into compared to one with a lower GDP, less jobs, less productive economy, and higher crime rates with a lower quality of life for the average American. So the
Wait, Dean,
idea that mass amnesty
let's
is
calm
unfair to
down though.
legal
Let's calm
immigrants
down.
is
Please, let's calm
absurdly
down.
false for those reasons.
Dean, let's calm down. I thought your vape helped you relax, but now we're getting angry. So let's calm down a little bit. Let's tone it down,
I don't find
please.
myself to be angry. I find myself to be assertive.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think it's the opposite.
Okay, Victoria, would you like to respond to the points that I just made?
What were your points?
You didn't listen to my points. Maybe you should
Yeah,
have
I did it.
listened. I will repeat them. You told me that mass amnesty of undocumented immigrants is unfair to legal immigrants attempting to come into this country. I've already described how mass deportation hurts this country, decreases jobs, makes our economy less productive, reduces average qualities of life, and mass amnesty makes our economy better, increases jobs, makes our productives more efficient, and increases average qualities of lives. So, what is more fair to legal immigrants? Waiting 20
Dean,
years to come into a country?
you're so dead set on this mass amnesty thing, but you were so supportive when Obama
Victoria,
was
I
deporting
would
these
really
legal immigrants.
appreciate
So
if you'd
what's
let me
different now?
finish.
What's
I
different now?
I never entertain deflections, but I'm definitely not going to entertain a deflection in the middle of me attempting to ask you a question about the last stupid statement you made. So I'm now going to ask you that question and you're going to answer it, Victoria. You said that it was unfair to do a mass amnesty for undocumented immigrants, and and how that's unfair to the legal immigrants attempting to come into this country. So what is more fair to the legal immigrants attempting to come into this country? Waiting 20 years
I
to
think
come into
what's
a
more
country with a
fair
weak economy, with less jobs and a lower quality of life for the average American? Or waiting 20 years to come into a country with a better economy, more jobs, and a better quality of life for the average American?
Bro, either way, they're gonna have an upgrade from wherever they come. Like they came to the country for a reason, for a better quality of life. So either way, it's gonna be an improvement for them.
I know, but one is going to be more of an improvement than the other, meaning one is going to be more fair than the other. So how could you say
Improvement is
the
improvement.
more improvement compared to less improvement is unfair compared to less improvement over more improvement? This
Improvement
is
is
like
improvement, and
basically
I'm talking
telling
about the
me
majority
that
too.
somebody giving me $50 instead of $100 is unfair. Wait, sorry, somebody giving me $100 instead of $50 is unfair and bad for me. Silly
I'm
Victoria.
not saying that actually.
That is what you're saying, and I just described 3 times how that's what you're saying. Is everybody watching the live clear on how that's what she's saying when she says that mass amnesty that makes this country better is unfair for the legal immigrants that have waited 20 years to come into this country? Obviously, that's going to be better for them too once they're in the country. And you're saying it's unfair to have a better country for them to immigrate into? That makes no sense.
Bro, the fact is, it's gonna be better for them either way. Like either way, mass deportation, mass amnesty is gonna be better. It's
I'll
gonna be an
repeat this one
improvement.
last time, but you're saying the two views, two versions of the country. One version of the country is slightly better than the other. You're saying that if we give them the first version of the country that is slightly better than the second, that's somehow unfair to them. How is it unfair to them to give them the slightly better country?
I never said it was unfair.
Yeah, you did. You said
I
that
was
giving mass
saying,
amnesty to undocumented immigrants is unfair for illegal immigrants.
yeah, because they're still out at the legal ports waiting for entry. while these people who entered legally suddenly get this leeway to become citizens while they're still out there waiting to be approved
Okay, but
and
assuming if
become
we do
legal.
this mass amnesty, it'll make that legal wait shorter, and after that shorter legal wait, they'll walk into a better country for them. There's nothing about the material
Dean,
conditions of these immigrants that is being made
couldn't a
worse
middle
by
ground
mass
for all of
amnesty.
this?
In fact, the material conditions of these immigrants is being made better by mass amnesty. You're saying the plan that will only materially benefit legal immigrants is worse for the legal immigrants. Maybe you're just anti-immigration, Victoria. Maybe you don't actually care about the lifestyles of these people. Maybe you don't care about the quality of life for these people. And you just want to use legal immigrants as an argument to try to win a debate. And when I'm able to point out how you're just trying to use legal immigrants that you don't care about as an argument to win a debate because you think you could rhetorically position what I'm describing to be unfair for them, even when I clarify that it makes their material conditions better, you don't care. Wonder why that is.
Dean, the fact is a middle ground that we could both, I'm sure we could both agree on is making the legal ports of entry like way more attainable than they are now.
Why would I
And
concede a
that would
winning argument? Because so far you haven't been able to tell me why mass amnesty is not preferable to mass deportation.
do
And
you
now you're just
disagree with
asking me to
that?
give it up.
Do you disagree with that? You don't think we should improve with the legal ports of entry that we currently have?
I think we should improve the legal ports of entry and offer undocumented immigrants mass amnesty compared to mass deportation. You don't have a counter
Why do
argument
both?
against that. Why
Why
do
do
you?
both?
Because it's better for the country.
It benefits the country either way. And I already gave you my arguments on that.
Would I rather this country be benefited by a factor of 1 or benefited by a factor of 100? Obviously, I'd rather this country to be benefited by a factor of 100, Victoria. You're now arguing that we should intentionally not do things that help this country. Yeah, now's the point where I'm going to start making the claim that you're likely racist. Feel free to prove me wrong by demonstrating some rational defense for your last claim that we shouldn't implement policy that will make this country better.
Dean, I'm not racist, and that's a big claim to throw
Well,
out
then
there for
offer a
someone who,
rational defense
that's a
for that
big
claim.
claim. That's a big claim to throw
I
out there for someone who
understand.
got CPS on a couple.
Oh, okay.
That's a
So
pretty
now
big
you're
claim to
getting
throw out.
upset and you want to talk about that. Feel free to go watch my most
I'm
recent
not
video on my
upset.
main
You just
account.
I'm not upset. You just called me a racist, so
Yeah, and I'm
I'm
providing you an ample opportunity to prove me wrong by giving me the rational defense for your plan here to intentionally not implement policy that will make this country better just because it also helps immigrants.
you just called me racist, and I was
Prove me
trying to give you
wrong.
my
Listen, Victoria, I understand that's a big claim, okay? I want you to prove me wrong. You have the mic, prove me wrong. My claim is that you're racist. The way that you could prove me wrong is by giving some rational defense for the idea that we shouldn't implement this policy that helps this country. You literally
I
said
just
that we
gave you
shouldn't
like
implement
4
this
fucking
policy.
reasons.
You said even if this policy makes America greater, we shouldn't implement this policy. Why? If it's better for the country and you don't want to implement it, obviously this is going to lead me to the conclusion that maybe you're just racist and there's some ulterior motive outside of the impact on
No,
America that you want to
no,
remove
there isn't.
undocumented immigrants from this country. Because now you've conceded that keeping them here and offering them residency or citizenship is better for the country, but you still don't want to do it. And you're still certain that you don't want to do it, regardless of the fact that it benefits this country. What's the reason
When
then?
the fuck? When the fuck did I concede that?
Yeah, when you're telling me that we should just make the legal ports of entry better compared to making the legal ports of entry better and implementing mass amnesty. Your response to that was to say, well, let's
If
just
we
make
did
the
that,
legal
if we
entry to
did
this
that like a
country better.
fucking,
I understand that if we also did mass amnesty, America would be even better off, but I just don't want to do it. Why is that?
I was saying that like if we originally, like decades, maybe even a century ago, if we had opted to make the ports of entry more obtainable, then this would have never been a fucking issue.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like
But
they
that, but
never
that, but
would have.
that, but
Like
that, but
there's
that
still
true claim has no bearing on our conversation because remember, this conversation is about how you support mass deportation and about how I'm able to absolutely dismantle that view and show you how you have no reason to support mass deportation.
I don't think you did, but
Okay.
if that's what
So
you
so
think,
then
then
what
that's
is the
fine.
reason you've provided to support mass deportation that I haven't been absolutely able to dismantle? Make that reason explicitly clear. What is the reason that you granted in support of mass deportation that I was not able to effectively combat?
The fact that it's unfair to people who are waiting outside of the ports of entry, like as we speak,
Oh, yeah. I
and
was
the people
able.
who entered illegally.
So I was able to effectively combat that point. The way that I was able to effectively combat that point is by A, pointing out that the same system would be offered to illegal immigrants. So I was equal treatment unfair. And then B, while we do mass amnesty for undocumented immigrants, those legal immigrants that are waiting 20 years to become citizens would be walking into a country that's better for them. So I don't understand how equal treatment that is ultimately better for them is unfair. See, that's how I was able to dismantle that point. Thank you, Victoria, for allowing me the chance to clarify.
Okay, so the only argument that you gave that I will concede to is the damn, you said a lot. The okay, I can concede to the argument that you gave about more crimes and the whole like more crime about if mass deportation like continue to go into effect.
Oh, why would you concede? Oh, well, if you concede that, then you don't support the policy because the first thing that you said when you came up here is that you don't want more crime.
I
But
had nine mentioned two
but now
things.
now that you've conceded that mass deportation causes more crime, if you truly don't want more crime, then you don't want mass deportation, right?
That wasn't even the only argument that I gave when I came up here. So
I know, but it
I
was
gave
one of them, and because it was one of them, my
yeah,
question is valid.
and I just said that I conceded to the
Right, but
to
but
your point that you gave
but the
related
concession
to
that mass
crime.
deportation should draw the conclusion that you don't support mass deportation because you also said that you don't want more crime. You concede that mass deportation causes more crime. You made it explicitly clear you don't want more crime. What's the obvious conclusion, Victoria?
That I don't support mass deportation as much as I thought that I did.
But there's
Is that
still
what you
some
want to hear?
reasons there to support it. What are they?
Is that what you want to hear?
Well, yeah, we're moving in the right direction. But seemingly that statement makes the implication that you still possess some reasons to support it. What are they?
It was just my point of or my argument about like how unfair it was to the people who were still out there waiting at the entry ports, the legal entry points or entry
I've
ports.
responded to that 3 times now. Should we like roll back the clip?
Ports of entry that we currently
Let's
have.
do that. I think we should improve the legal ports of entry and offer. Can we roll back the clip? Never mind. I'm actually not streaming off of my computer, so we can't do that. Anyways, I'll just repeat the response. So it's not unfair because A, that same expedited pathway to residency or citizenship would be offered to legal immigrants. So I don't understand how equal treatment is unfair treatment. And it's not unfair B, because this opportunity of mass deportation would create a stronger country with more jobs and less crime. Why is it unfair to be giving these legal immigrants not just equal treatment, but better treatment once they're in the country by giving them a country with a stronger economy and less crime? That's why it's not unfair. It's equal treatment that gives them a stronger economy and less crime once they're here. In what world is that unfair?
It's not, and the fact is that the Democratic Party could have
So,
passed policies to
so now you
improve.
agree that it's not unfair. So now that you've conceded that it's not unfair to legal immigrants, you now concede that you don't support mass deportation.
I guess, is that what you want to hear? What the fuck? Why are you staring like that? That's fucking scary.
What the?
Dean, you're really hot though.
Get out of here. Dude. I'm. Wayne. I don't. I don't know how to respond to this. Wayne. I. No, this one beat me. I don't even. I don't know what. I don't know what to say. Dude, I'm gonna need a second, chat. I'm just gonna need a second. I. Dude, Wayne, thank you so much for the $5,000 donation on Venmo. Again, by the way, so Wayne also sent a $5,000 donation 2 days ago? Dude, I don't know what to say. Just thank you, Wayne. Like seriously, man. Thank you. That is like too much. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. I don't. And because I just Wayne, thank you so much for the love. That is fucking ridiculous. Dude, I just want you to like Wayne, that is like dude, that is so much. That is like so much money, okay? You know, like that is so much fucking money. Like that is like seriously, like life-changing dough. Dude, oh my god. Holy fuck. Man, Wayne, I just want to let you know, dude. This morning, I made my last payment on medical debt that I'm in from a while back when it actually happened on live. So maybe even some of you guys know what it's about with some heart palpitations that I had, and I had to go to the ER and then get set up with a doctor. And this morning, I made my last payment on that. And, you know, I was kind of like, ooh, like that one burns. But gotta pay it. Moving on. All those concerns are just wiped the fuck away and more. And more. I very rarely lost for words. But right now, for everybody watching, I don't know what to say. Wayne, I'd like to personally get into contact with you privately. I'd like to privately get into contact with you. And first and foremost, just for my peace of mind, I want to like one-on-one verify that this is something that you meant to do. It is like so crazy to me that there's a looming thought in the back of my head, which I think the only way I'd be able to get rid of it is if I were to talk to you, is to confirm person to person that you meant to do this. Like, just so I'm going to personally reach out to you. Thank you for the love, man. So much. Thank you so much. Um, and I don't know how to like go about addressing this on live because I want Wayne to know that I'm thankful. So incredibly thankful. I would hope that anybody in my shoes right now would be thankful as fuck. But at the same time, like I also don't want to like give off the message to anybody watching right now that like I'm taking this for granted. I don't understand how fucking privileged I am, or that I want to boast or flex or be anything but truly thankful for the kindness of Wayne. I just can't even believe it. I thank you, Wayne. I'm also going to be passing some of that forward. There's a couple really good things. There's a couple really good things I'm going to be putting some of that into. That's awesome. Wayne, thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna go ahead and get back into the conversations. I am just like truly fucking like mind fucked right now. Thank you, Wayne, so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fucking hell. Thank you. One second, guys. I just need to look into this real quick. I'm just send him an email real quick because I think I have his email. I just want to do this like right now on live. Real quick. I'm sorry for pausing everything. I gotta find this message. Where is the email? Where is it at? I want to email Wayne because I seriously do. I want to personally have a chat with him. Like not on live, not publicly, privately. I want to personally have a chat with him. Confirm that this was intentional, by choice, etc. And yeah. Bruce fucking Wayne. You know, I called Wayne that a while back. I called Wayne that a while back. And I mean it. Bruce fucking Wayne. Okay. All right. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and hop into that next debate. Somebody in the chat says, "Watch out, MAGA. Dean's got a Batman in his corner." Thank you, Wade. If we could please, please have W Waynes in the live comment section until we end. It just still, like, that's just so insane. It hasn't even, like, hit me yet. It just, like, that doesn't seem real. It's that fucking crazy. It just doesn't even seem real. Okay. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next debate. Once again, I want to clarify that I truly do recognize the privilege of, like, the position that I am in. And I want to make that clear to all of y'all. And the reasons that I'm so dead set on making that explicitly clear to y'all is I've seen, like, one too many clips of these streamers just being donated life-changing money and then kind of brushing it off or acting as if it's a normal, regular thing. And I want to make it explicitly clear that is not how I feel, and I very much so recognize my privilege in this circumstance, 110 fucking %, and thank you, Wayne. Wow. Okay, we're going to move on to the next debate. Right now, everybody, if you find yourself in that queue, make sure that means that you support Trump. And keep the Wayne W's flowing until we end. Keep the Wayne W's flowing until we end. Welcome and Bree, do you support Trump?
Hi, I don't know if you've seen what I was spamming in the chat.
I did not see that. Are you MAGA?
Okay, so to start off, I'm 41. I have a point that I haven't seen you make about the Medicaid SNAP cuts that I think is really important.
Oh, run it on me. Let's hear it.
It's that, okay, so in order to not have to do the work requirement for SNAP and Medicaid, you have to be considered disabled. However, in order to be considered disabled, you have to have been unable to work for a year or longer. So for people that are newly disabled, what are they supposed to do for that entire year?
Great point. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming up and giving me that information, Brew. You're right. You know, I've been thinking about this. What are the classifications for being considered disabled? And I know that they suck because of family stuff, as well as it's just all from the bureaucratic shithole of the American government. So I'd assume that that is incredibly incredibly off-putting and rules out a lot of people who are truly disabled. But I appreciate you for bringing that specific point to my attention, that you have to have been unable to work for over a year. Thank you so much, Bree.
All right, thank you.
Of course, you have a good rest of your day. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, everybody. Make sure we are in that queue that you support Trump. Ace, what's going on, man? Do you support Trump?
Hey, can you hear me?
I sure can. I sure can.
Oh, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing really good. Are you driving?
No, I'm on lunch, parked at a park.
Okay, no worries. Do you think that you could
driving, though.
disconnect the Bluetooth from your phone so I could hear you through the mic of your phone? Right now, it kind of sounds like you're talking through a little bit of a microwave.
All right, can you hear me better now?
I sure can. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right.
So, kind
Why
of going
was
back to your previous person you had up, of Victoria or Veronica or whatever. You were saying that the GDP will go up and all that, but I think there's a point that was left out, is that majority of that money does not stay here. as a person from this community,
Okay. You're
I know
lagging.
that
You're lagging really bad,
workers
Ace.
that send them. Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I think that what was left out of that is that a lot of that money from these undocumented workers actually do not stay here in the United States. It actually gets sent back to family, and wherefore whenever, I mean, in the Hispanic community, there's a big thing. Every 8 years, they get ready for this issue with deportations. So they send all their money back to Mexico. So if they do get deported, they have a home and all that, and they're taking care of the family. So with that being said, the point of, the GDP going up is kind of mute at that point because the money is not even staying here in the United States.
Okay, so that's not true. So a study from the National Immigration Council tells us that only around 17% of undocumented immigrants do remittance or send money back to another country. And that doesn't represent the amount of income that they donate out of their remittance. I think that another study demonstrates that on average, it's like maybe $200 or $300 every 2 months on average. So, I mean, I think that needs to be considered. So honestly, what you're bringing up here kind of sounds like a moot point. And my thoughts are, and you as a conservative libertarian should agree with me here, if you're not doing anything immoral or illegal with your money, who the hell are we to judge you, right? And obviously it's not going to be immoral or illegal to send your money back to family overseas. And on top of that, you're telling me that from your perspective, all of these undocumented immigrants are sending money out of the economy to, have a home in the circumstance that they're deported. Well, this means that if they wouldn't be incentivized to do so if they didn't think they would be deported. Meaning if they were offered mass amnesty without any material change in their employment or the money they receive, our GDP would grow because they'd no longer be incentivized to send more of that money out of the country.
Well, when you say, I get that. But what you're failing to say is that why hasn't any president before actually given mass amnesty?
Well, Reagan
It's
did
always
it.
the same
Reagan did it. But I'll answer your question. So I think that a lot of presidents have had a little bit of a push against amnesty because they are corrupt motherfuckers that recognize immigration is an ever so persisting issue. And if we made the legal means of entry to this country better and we truly offered a comprehensive plan of mass amnesty, that issue would be fixed for now and indefinitely for the future. But they want that issue to forever exist so they could use it as an issue to run on to get the vote of the people. Think about it this way. You hear Donald Trump shouting about the undocumented immigrants in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now 2025. Are you telling me that there's not one circumstance during his first term or second where he had the ability to pass policy to effectively reduce undocumented immigration into this country now in the future by making the legal means of entry into this country more attainable? He obviously had the ability to do that. He just didn't want to do it because it's that issue of immigration that he was able to use to win the election in 2015, ran on it as an issue in 2020, and win in 2024, right? So because of that ulterior incentive structure, where they don't truly want to do what's best for the people, but rather what's best for them in their campaign, they tend to push these really good solutions off.
Yeah, I get that. But a lot of your, talking points is that Kamala was about going to do that. And you just said in your own words that they're all corrupt. Whatever. You just said that they're all corrupt. But a lot of your running points is that Kamala
that's more
was
so
do it.
Like a push against mass amnesty is more so going to be a push from the right. However, I do think that we still see the Democrats failing in the context of immigration, but they're just simply doing better than the Republicans. So because I vote for progress, the obvious pick there would be the Democrats.
Okay. So would you agree that, if you were to go into credit card debt and all that and to kind of reset yourself from spending, you would kind of get rid of all what you could and start over? I think that's kind of where a lot of the people are thinking, is that we need to kind of fix what's broken here. We have to reset. So getting a lot of the illegals out and everything, and then
that'll only exacerbate issues that are already broken in America.
But there's always issues broken in America.
I know, but it's just going to make them worse.
That's your opinion.
Well, then debate that opinion by proving me wrong.
I mean, I wasn't really here to bait. I'm trying to open up a conversation about,
Okay, well,
you know, some of the things
conversate with
you
me about
do,
my opinion. Prove me why I'm wrong.
because it is your opinion, and there's also a lot of
Well,
people out
it's
there
an
that
opinion
adopt.
backed by data and fact, and I'm asking you
Well,
to combat my opinion backed by data and fact by either giving me overruling evidence that the data and facts used to build my opinion are wrong, or the data and facts don't necessarily entail my opinion, and that they entail some other opinion that would be different from mine, right?
I
But like
mean, there's millions
obviously,
of data and facts out there. So, as me telling you, I'm a Hispanic,
okay, so if
and
there's so much
I
of it, then
see
give me
that
an argument.
everybody's
Okay,
that a lot of them send their money
if
back,
there's so much of it,
and
give
you're
me an
telling me
argument
I'm wrong
against this.
because of data. That kind of, you know, that's different. There's data from everywhere. There's data that'll tell you that they are sending everything back.
Okay, show me that data.
So, I mean, I'm at work right now. I don't have a computer in front of me, but
Okay,
you
so don't make stupid claims, please.
okay? Well, I guess we all do that just like you do, brother.
What stupid claims do I make?
Yeah, I mean, you just said that Kamala was going to do better at the border, but
Kamala?
you just said yourself, whatever, bro. You just said yourself that they're all corrupt, but you're over here pushing everybody.
You just
she
said
was
it.
going to
You
be
just said
better.
it yourself, right? Better, not perfect, right?
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Your assumption. We think a lot of people think that Trump is going to be better.
Okay, why?
So because what we've seen in the past with the Democrats,
Okay,
they don't.
what
They
the
haven't
Democrats
done
done that's
anything.
bad? Oh, they haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything for amnesty, like you're saying.
Okay.
You know, and your
Right.
whole point is,
All right.
tell me
So-
why Trump
so-
is better or worse than Kamala or whatever.
Okay, so I agree that Democrats haven't supported amnesty. However, the reason why I'd still say that Democrats are better than Republicans today is because A, Republicans, right? Donald Trump doesn't support mass amnesty, but also B, because he's worse for the policy that they do implement, like deportations. Right now, the Democrats are focused on the deportations of undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses, right? I mean, Obama literally created a work program to offer undocumented immigrants without prior violent offenses the ability to work, right? And that's a really big difference because Trump, on the other hand, deports everybody or wants to deport everybody. He wants to remove every undocumented immigrant from this country. So there's just like one clear distinct difference that obviously shows that the goals of the left are closer in proximity to what I ideologically aligned with compared to the goals of the right. If I want all undocumented immigrants without prior violent offenses, etc., to be offered a pathway to residency or citizenship, right? The idea that we should only deport undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses and offer the remaining ones work permits is going to be closer in proximity to that idea compared to the idea of MAGA, which is to deport every single undocumented immigrant out of this country.
Okay. Would you say that saving one child from being exploited for work, sex, anything like that would justify deporting, you know, everybody illegal? In the case of what's happened here in the case of what happened here in the marijuana farm in California,
Oh, you got fucked.
they were having,
You got
you know,
fucked, Ace.
why?
Because you can't say the name of the MDRUG on TikTok Live. But that's what we call what do they call it? A false dichotomy. The reason why that's a false dichotomy is because you suggested that there's only two options. Either we continue to allow children to be exploited for their labor as undocumented immigrants on farms, or we do a mass deportation of all undocumented immigrants. The reason that is a false dichotomy is because those aren't the only two options. Oh no. My girlfriend just texted me, babe, where did this hole come from? What hole? Oh no, that's so ominous. I can't like check my texts or anything because then I'd pause the TikTok live. Oh, that's so ominous. Oh, that's so ominous. What hole is she talking about? Is there a hole in our in a wall in our house or something? I don't know. That's so ominous. Uh-oh. Let's go to load up that next guest, Steve. Everyone just give us a minute. And then also, Jay, thank you so much for the $125 donation over on PayPal, bro. Dude, Jay, thank you so much for the love. Can we get 1,025 WJs down below in that live chat? Jay says, what a loving and caring community you've built here. This is for your compassionate heart. Dude, Jay, I really appreciate you so much for being in here with us. You've been so kind, and thank you so much for the $125 donation. That is seriously fucking insane. Thank you so much, Jay. as well as Eduardo. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Show some love to Eduardo down below. McLaren with the $10, and here's another 10 to show you that you do. Thank you for the $10, McLaren. You were so kind. As well as Jillian with a $5 saying that it's my boyfriend's birthday today. Can we please get a happy birthday, Gary? Dude, happy birthday, Gary. Holy fuck. Happy birthday, Gary. Let's get a spam of happy birthday Garys down below in that comment section. Oh my God, as well as Sid. Thank you for the $50 over on Venmo from 16 minutes ago. Let's get 500 Sid W's, as well as some happy birthday Sids. Sid says, Dean, you do deserve this. You thinking a dono like that isn't performative, it's genuine. Thank you for all that you do. You've built a real community of people who care about each other, and that's so, so, so special. Well, Sid, once again, I care a lot about you, and I hope that you have a great birthday. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for the $50 donation. And also, stop donating to me on your birthday. I want you to take that money and spend it on something for you. I'm not even joking. But I do appreciate you for the love. And Reagan, thank you for the $20 as well, saying I think that you're amazing. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the love, Reagan. That is so incredibly kind. Welcome in, Steve. Do you support Trump?
Fentanyl nigger, fentanyl nigger, fentanyl nigger, fentanyl, 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 fentanyl.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute here to get that next guest, Jordan, up in the box. Okay. Mel, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Mel. Thank you so much. What is going on, Jordan? Do you support Trump? Okay, doesn't look like Jordan wants to join. Moving on to the next guest, Toph. I'm going to go and pause here for like 3 seconds. Everyone just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, everybody. I wanted to quickly invite a very special guest to the live. Everybody. What's going on, Pump? You support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Age, please.
25.
25. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, but more importantly, I support Nick Fuentes. I just want to say that.
Dude, cringe. Let me guess. You're a Nazi.
Bro, stop it. You can't seriously believe that he is a national socialist. That's just liberal propaganda.
He likes Hitler?
No, he never said he likes Schmittler. He says that he wasn't
does.
completely a bad guy. That's all he says.
Did you know that he told me that he would prefer Hitler to be president over any woman ever?
Okay, well, clearly he says some things for shock factor, right?
All right, get out of here. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute, y'all, while we're working on loading that next guest up into the live. Everybody just do be patient while we're working on getting Aiden loaded up. What's going on, Aiden? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Age, please.
19,
What year are you born in?
2006.
Okay, phenomenal. Matt.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I hear a little bit of an echo.
What year are you born in?
2006.
Swipe in and out of the app, Matt.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
I sure can. Matt, I just wanted to tell you, happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Dude,
Means a lot
of
to me, thank you.
course. Happy fucking birthday, man. I really appreciate
Thank you.
you and everything that you have done to help me in the last handful of years. You've always been such a very kind and good friend. And I just want to let you know I appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Of course.
Very nice of you.
Yeah, of course. If you want to hang out on the live for a little bit, feel free. But if you got some birthday
I
plans,
am happy to.
You're happy to?
No,
Yeah,
well,
feel free.
I am going to dinner in like an hour, but I got time. So
Yeah, I don't want to pressure you into staying, but if you want to stay, I'd love to have you
You're
here.
good. Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course. Make sure to show some love to Matt, by the way, y'all. Anyways, Aiden, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I support him on a couple things. One being that I wouldn't say his foreign policy is great, but I do like the presence that he gives when, he's, there. And I also like his stance on Israel, which I know is kind of a rough edge there, but
So could you please be specific? What is one thing that he's doing that you're a fan of?
I like his implements of parts of the BBB that he's done.
So overall, you're a fan of the BBB. Why is that?
Yes.
All right, because the BBB is a terrible fucking piece of legislation, kicking 17 million people off of healthcare, 3 million people off of food stamps, to funding not only free lunches for students in school, but also, revoking funding for after-school programs, extracurriculars, etc. I mean, we now literally see 20 states suing the federal government for revoking those funds, and on top of that, it is costing our government $4 trillion. That is seriously one of the worst policies we have seen ever.
I definitely agree that it's very costly, which is one of my huge concerns about it. But I believe that the aftermath of the whole thing will help the country in the long run. Which
Okay, how does it help the country in the long run to make poor people poorer, rich people richer, and defunding things for students to get a good education? That seems like that'd make the country worse in the long run, actually. Right? Because all those kids now that are going to go out without that school lunch, without the adequate funding and attention they need, guess what? They're going to get worse grades, have a worse work ethic. Maybe they won't get accepted into the college that they wanted to go to, be less educated on average. All of a sudden, that will return a very bad ROI for their future productivity in the economy.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that definitely makes sense. All right, yeah.
So do you have a response?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to go over?
There's one thing I want to talk about. You said before, I think you had a guest on a while ago. You said that if we don't do a mass deportation, I don't support doing a mass deportation. I think that's a terrible idea. However, you said that if we do a mass deportation, it would raise crime. How would that raise crime?
By weakening the economy, thereby increasing poverty, and a lot of crime is consequential of poverty, meaning it would cause more crime.
So you're saying that like poverty is it's obviously a huge reason that people like do crime. Is that like I guess like the stability of why crime is a thing because of poverty? And if so, how could we
Why
like
a lot of crime is a thing, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about is I know Trump's been a lot of getting rid of the Department of Education. Is that something you'd be in support in or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And no Republican should be in support of that either. You understand that the federal Department of Education, for the most part, just makes sure that school districts in red areas are adequately funded. Funded just as much as school districts in blue areas that generate 72% of this country's GDP. You remove that federal Department of Education, all of a sudden schools in red districts get worse and taxes in red districts go up because they'll need to increase property tax in order to provide the same level of education to those children.
Okay. The only reason why I'm sort of for it is because I live in like a town where I live in a school district where we had money taken away, and we voted for the Republican candidate, and I live in a blue state. So I think a lot of it had to do with the Department of Education and who was running it.
Okay, well then the fix there would be to restructure the Department of Education, not to get rid of it.
Okay. How would the restructuring work in terms?
Well, now we're just so far off base of why you support
Yeah.
Trump that it's not even necessary.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so why do you support Trump?
That was pretty much it. That's pretty much all I had.
Okay, have a good rest of your day, Aiden.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Of course, man. Of course, bro. Oh, sorry. I accidentally went on pause there for a second. My bad. Let's go and get that next guest loaded into the live. Matt, what are your plans for the birthday? Tell us about them.
Dinner, and then I'll probably hang out with Parker while he's live for a little bit, and then that's about it. Just
Nice.
taking it.
Nice, man. That sounds fun, bro. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah.
Camellia, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Camellia. What's going on, Mod? Do you support Trump?
From the funding fee, which can
Okay, he's like a billion light years away. But seriously, Camellia, thank you so much for the $20.
Yes, and thank you to Allison and
Hello.
Infinity too. Thank you so much.
What's up, What If? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Don't believe you. Sorry.
Oh,
Sometimes I just make those pretty quick judgment calls there.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Let's try to get that next guest loaded into the stream. We got Chicken Parm loaded in, y'all. We got Chicken Parm loaded in. What's up, Chicken Parm? You support Trump?
I don't, but I just have a question because I live in Australia, and I was just wondering, does Trump have the ability to affect Australian politics, and if so, how?
Well, I mean, it all depends on what the social response in Australia is to him, especially if maybe he like imposes sanctions or tariffs on Australia as a part of his great trade deals. But I'd say that the only reasonable effect we would likely see in a country like Australia as a result of Trump is probably one pushing Australia further left. So that's
Because they just had like a big election like 3 or 4 months ago, and like Labor like wiped the board clean. So
right.
Thanks,
Precisely.
Yes,
like the big impact that he could have on other countries is to just make them more liberal by pissing them off, by like pulling us out of NATO or putting tariffs on them. What's up, Paul? You support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Paul, why do you support the man with the failure, Donald J. Trump, as president?
Because I sure ain't gonna help vote for Kamala.
Can you repeat?
She was going to start World War III.
Oh, Paul, Kamala Harris was going to start World War
Yes,
III.
yes, sir.
Wow, how is she going to do that, Paul?
But Democrats not Christians anyway, so they're gonna go for whoever.
How is Kamala Harris going to start World War III?
I've been voting for Trump. I've been voting for Trump 3 years or 3 times.
And how is Kamala Harris going to start World War III?
Because that's what they were trying to start. They had wars going on when they was in office.
How are they trying to start it?
They had wars going on when they was in office.
Oh, they had wars going on while they were in
Yes,
office.
they did.
So does Trump. In fact, he's only made the conflicts worse.
Trump did not have war going on while he was in office.
He's in office right now, and there's multiple wars going on, buddy. Get real.
Now there is because of Iran.
Wait,
But there wasn't at the beginning.
did Iran cause Russia to launch their biggest missiles yet into Ukraine?
Yes.
How so?
Trump's gonna be the best president ever. You can have all you want. Y'all ain't nothing but punks. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Okay.
I'm 20-something years old.
Well, I am exactly 20 years old, Paul, and
You
you're
only
right.
you only voted one time in your life.
Right, and you're right. I could be a little bit of a punk. I get it. I'm a little punk, Paul. Well, this little punk has a question for you. Are you an American patriot?
Yes.
Okay. Do American patriots support the Constitution?
Yeah. Trump does too.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Not only is he
Yes, he does.
explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution, but he's also passed an executive order that explicitly contradicts it.
That ain't true.
It is true. This was January 25th. He passed an executive order to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants.
I think he's right about that because that's murder.
What?
I think he needs to ban the abortion. That's murder.
We're not
Kill-
talking
kill a
about
baby.
We're not talking about abortion, Paul. We're not talking about abortion. You left. No, Paul, come back. Please, Paul.
Oh,
Come
dang.
back with you and your lead poisoning. Please come back.
Lead poisoning.
Oh, dude. See, I can't even get pissed at people like Paul. It's just crazy. Like, can anybody truly get pissed at Paul? No, I can't. I can't get pissed at Paul because it's just so outrageous that I'm like infinitely closer to laughing in his face than I ever am like getting upset with him. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel bad for Paul. You know what I mean? I don't know. No, Paul. Paul shouldn't be able to vote. I'm gonna make that one clear. Paul probably shouldn't be able to vote. Like, you know, let's make that one clear. You know, his vote matters just as much as mine. God damn it. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. Let's go ahead and see what that next guest has to say.
Thank you to Jenna too. Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
Hello, Parker.
Hi.
No, Dean, sorry.
Hi, Nate. Do you support Trump?
Kind of. Can I ask you a quick question?
When you say kind of support Trump, what does that mean?
I mean, I do think he's a somewhat good businessman, minus the bankruptcies, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, what time is it?
For me, right now, it's 7:30. I live in Nova Scotia.
Okay, well, thanks for calling in from Nova Scotia, man.
Canadian.
Heard it's nice up there. Oh, I didn't even see the Canadian flags in his name. I only saw that when I went to kick him.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Melissa. Thank you so much.
All right, we're gonna get that next guest up in here. Everyone, you know, just be patient. Give us a minute here. What's up, Jennifer? You support Trump? Okay. All right. Bye, Jennifer. Goodbye. I need to text somebody back. So I'm trying to get somebody up in here. So I can go shoot a text back. Where are we at? What about Elsa? Let's try to get Elsa up in here. Guys, make sure that we're in that queue that you support Trump.
Hello, Elsa.
Hi, I think it's crazy how Trump is held liable for rape, and yet people are calling us PDFLs for supporting you. And I think the hypocrisy is absolutely insane, especially because he said that he would date a 10-year-old girl when she was 10, and like 10 years later. I'm so sorry.
Cook, Elsa.
W. Wayne, by the way.
Cook, Elsa. Cook. Oh my goodness gracious, Cook. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Let me tell you. 10 out of 10. Cook. Yeah, Cook. All right. What's going on? We need to find the next guest. How about this? Just put a maggot down below in that chat if you support Trump. And also, yeah, our live on TikTok did get age restricted, but honestly, like, we're just gonna roll with it. Like, we're already being hit so hard today by like a billion different directions. It is what it is. We're gonna roll with it. Jesus. Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it, quite frankly. Hello, Minnie. Do you support Trump? Minnie left, quite frankly. Goodbye, Minnie. Holy crap. Okay. Let's go get Megan Brown up in here. Yeah, I really got to see what that hole is that she was talking about. Apparently, there's a hole in my house somewhere. Very ominous. Hello, Megan. Do you support Trump?
Hello, Megan.
Somebody in my YouTube live comment section says, I hope his girlfriend hasn't fallen in it. Well, yeah, I really want to go check that text. What if it is a hole you could fall in? Like, I'd assume not, but I can't know until I check her text. You know, maybe we have a sinkhole opening in our living room right now, and the house is about to collapse. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Jordan, what's up? You support Trump?
Dean, I don't support Trump. I just got a quick question for you really quick. I love what you do.
I'm
so
sorry, Jordan. I really appreciate you so much for coming here. Thank you.
You lied.
I know, you lied, Jordan. Dude, I gotta go check this sinkhole, everybody. I gotta see what... I would suggest you look into it, says somebody in the chat, right? What's up, Mike? Do you support Trump?
I do. I think that, you know, his policies...
Are you driving?
No, I'm actually parked in my car.
If you could disconnect the Bluetooth from your phone, because right now it's going through your car's speakers, so that would be great. I'm gonna
I'm gonna hop out then because I'm on a tablet, so I apologize.
You could disconnect Bluetooth on a tablet.
Yeah, it's not gonna sound the mic on it sucks. So I'll.
Okay, bye, Mike. Let's go ahead and see who's next. Everyone, just give us a minute. Honestly, Mike, maybe you just hop back in that queue and we'll talk to you through your car, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dean, you look sad.
TikTok.
Oh, I'm not sad. I'm just like, Honestly, I'm feeling calm. I said earlier that we are going to do a shorter stream today. We honestly might still just do that shorter stream. Low key. Like, yeah, I think that we're going to get to 2 hours and 30 minutes and then call it quits for the day. Very short stream for me. Incredibly short stream, but, you know, it is what it is. Sorry, oh, Taylor M. I accidentally just invited you up. Please don't accept that. What's going on? Do you support Trump? Just none of these people are Trump supporters. Okay, Matt, I'm going to give you control of the live. Do you think that you could help try to
Sounds
get
good.
next up here? I'm just going to go shoot my girlfriend back.
got you.
Thank you so much, Matt.
I got you. Yep, you're welcome. All right, everybody, put MAGA in the chat, and I'll add you up. All right. This guy said, so I invited you. But hello, chat. How are you doing? I hope you all are well.
Dude, there's a hole in my
Okay,
wall.
the guy who's in the chat who I'm inviting you, but you're not coming up. So you know what?
There's
I don't
a
know what to
hole
do.
in the wall.
So
I don't
this
know
guy
where that
looks
hole
MAGA.
Where did this hole come from?
Oh, it says I can't manage.
I don't know where that hole came from, everybody. Oh, I'm back. Hello. Hello.
This guy looks MAGA. So
What's up, Stan? You support Trump?
Hello, I am Donald J. Trump. I do not like what you.
Get out. I just
Damn.
don't think that we're even going to be able to find Trump supporters for the day. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Like 4K people, not one Trump supporter.
people have been having such trouble lately.
I know. It's like the only Trump supporter that I know is in the queue is this guy. Hey, have you found my address yet?
Do you think it was nice to dox
Have
that
you,
man?
Have you found my address yet?
Dean, you shouldn't dox him.
Bro, you've been trying to find my address for like 3 years. Shut the hell up. Last
Dean,
person
that's
on earth
easy.
to speak. Have you found it yet, though?
Dean, yes, just
You have? Wait. What is it?
green and tan.
What is my address?
Green and tan, baby.
Green and tan
Hey,
or
don't-
colors?
Don't
What's my
dox
address?
people. It's not nice.
What is my address?
It's not nice. How much you gonna
Tell me
donate
what my address is.
to the cancer victim?
Tell me what my address is.
How much you gonna donate?
He doesn't want to tell me what my address is. That guy's been trying to dox me for 3 years. I bring him up every
Pretty bad
week.
at it.
Yeah, he's obviously bad at it. I bring him up once in a while. I probably bring him up like once a month. Once a month I bring him up just to get a status update. He's just so bad at what he does. He's just a non-threat. You know what I mean? Like if that guy was smarter, sure he'd be like that guy would definitely be a threat. I'd have to keep a lookout for whoever the hell that is. But dude is so dumb. Like he just is simply not a threat at all. What's up, Mira? You support Trump?
Mira says no.
Okay.
Or says nothing. Oh, and what was the hole?
Oh, yes. There's a hole in the wall in one of our bathrooms.
Just spontaneously happened.
Spontaneously fucking happened. It's in the bathroom that
Spontaneous
we've kind
hole.
of made like the cat room. So it's like me and my girlfriend, we don't really even use that bathroom. It's the cat room. And there's a hole in the wall. What if the cat put the hole in the wall?
Yeah.
It's
Momo. He decided to punch the wall.
Yeah, but it's like a pretty big hole though, you know?
That's weird.
Oh, yeah. Somebody in the chat says their cat has a spare bedroom. Unfortunately, we don't have a spare bedroom, or we would put the cats in there. The cat.
How dare the cats?
Yeah, but like we kind of do just let the kitty cat free roam at all hours. That's just where the water and the food goes and whatnot.
I'm 13 years old. I just want to say I really appreciate what you're doing. You're shaping my future. I really love what you're doing. You're like one of my biggest inspirations. I really.
Edward, I apologize for cutting you off. I did remove you from the live for like your safety, man. You're 13. We got to be looking out for minor safety here. But just know that's so kind of you, bro. Just make
Thank you,
sure.
Edward.
Seriously, if I could give you a recommendation, Edward, that is genuinely so kind of you, and it just warms my heart knowing, that I have a positive impact on younger Americans. But at the same time, man, you are 13. Please make sure to spend your time playing with friends and having fun. Be a teenager, dude. You know, I think it is cool that, you know, I'm sure that you'll be a fine man. You know, you grow up 18, a real gentleman. I mean that seriously. But, you know, make sure that you also spend some time being a kid. If I had a
Agreed.
recommendation for you, it would be to think as little about politics as possible. And that's not a recommendation I give to many people. But children, especially young children like 13, it goes by fast, bro. It goes by fast. Make sure to
It
make the
does.
most out of it. Yeah, I mean, I really, I wasted, you know, like my like youth, like working and whatnot, and in some senses, I think it was really cool because it definitely instilled a lot of like good values and knowledge into me. But at the same time, it's like I wish that I would have just spent more time being a kid. What is going on, Daddy J? Do you support Trump?
What's up, dude?
Someone in
Yes,
the chat says,
sir.
bro, you're 20. No, I'm still young. I'm still young. I'm just perpetually now wasting my... No, I'm just kidding. I'm talking about when I was like that guy's age, like 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, like the teenage youth. Jade, why do you support Trump?
I got a question beforehand. Do you follow football?
No, I don't. I don't. I have friends that do. He left.
Okay.
I didn't mean to piss you off, bro. No, I don't. I don't follow. I mean, I watched like the World Cup. You know.
Was he asking about American football or like football? I assume he was asking about like football, not American football.
Oh, my girlfriend just came in here and gave me a cutie with a note that says, "A cutie for a cutie."
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, a cutie for a cutie.
That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh, that's so kind of her. Oh, she got me smiling and blushing on stream and shit. I need to lock back in. We're doing political debates here. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and give it one last attempt here to get a debate and to try to get a conversation going. If this doesn't work, unfortunately, I'm going to end the live early today. I don't want to end the live early. That's about the last thing I want to do. But unfortunately, it's gonna
One
be
of those days.
necessary. It's just one of those days. It's one of those days. It's 4:14. I could get off, go to the gym. Oh, that sounds fun. I haven't gone to the gym in so long, but let's try one last guest here. Please make sure that you're following the rules if you're in the queue. Make sure that means that you're MAGA. Let's go to get our next guest, Chase, loaded into the stream. What's up? Do you support Trump, Chase?
I love you so much. You educated me. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I appreciate you so much, man.
Yeah.
How about this? What if we just did like a little bit of like a Q&A for a second here? I'm done trying to get Trump supporters. We're going to end. But before we end,
Sounds
maybe
good.
we could spend some time doing a bit of a Q&A. You have questions for me? Matt, if you want to hang out, feel free, man. You're welcome. Happy birthday once again. Appreciate you for
Yep.
being here.
I have time. Yep.
Giving
Thanks.
us some of your time. We'll hang out. We'll take a handful of questions here. Handful of questions. GF reveal? Never. Got to protect her privacy, man. Really got to protect her privacy.
Best advice ever.
Yeah, no. There's been so many scenarios where I've just reflected on that perpetual decision of protecting her privacy as like the best decision I've ever made.
I agree. Yep.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah, the right is very violent when it comes to the girlfriends of like young male liberals, if they have them. They're very violent. Very, very violent. Harry Sisson posted a picture the other day on Twitter of his girlfriend's hand like around his neck, just like holding him like a girlfriend would hold their boyfriend, and it didn't include her face. And then the right took this picture and like started like AI putting in like drag queens or like trans individuals, like making fun of her, calling her trans,
Jeez.
ridiculing her in about a billion ways. I mean, it was just brutal. You know, like it's really important to keep her private for her own safety. But I mean, if people weren't weird and everybody was benevolent and cool, I would love to introduce you guys to my girlfriend. Oh, then somebody in the chat says, "How is that violent?" Well, I mean, somebody literally did shoot a BB gun at me and my girlfriend last month. So.
And those kind of images can like lead to violence because they make people who like severely dislike those individuals just like want to fucking lash out and everything.
Right.
Doesn't
Right.
take much.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Okay, everybody. Yeah. Dean, you should be vegan. I'm contrary to popular belief. I'm pretty sympathetic to vegan ethics.
I am too.
Yeah, but dude, some vegans, man, they just take it too far. I'm not joking. Some vegans are crazy, man. Holy fuck. I actually think so. I posted a picture of a steak on Twitter yesterday, and a vegan responded with this. Let me tell you. Let's see here. Where are they at? Dean Withers grinned creepily as he tried to mock an animal rights activist for confronting him about his complicity in the enslavement, rape, torture, family separation, mutilation, and murder of trillions of people based upon their species. A leaked video shows who his coach was. And then it's a picture of me with a picture of Hitler superimposed into it. Hitler says in this box, "That a boy, I raised you right, son." And then it shows a text box imposed onto me saying, "People don't deserve their rights if they were born as a different species than me." And that's just one message, by the way. That's just one. They go on and on. I think, oh my God. Oh, it gets even worse. It gets even worse, everybody. They said, at its Dean Withers is Hitler's son. What the fuck?
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, some vegans just take it way
I want the
too
nice people
far.
who are like gonna like hand out flyers and tell me about love and stuff. Like don't throw in like Hitler shit.
Yeah, you're not going to convince people that eat meat to be vegan by saying that they're literally Hitler. You know, I don't think that's going to be a winning argument.
Yeah. I'm very sympathetic with the idea of being vegan. I just like meat too much. Sorry. I'm just lazy that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the thing is about meat. I just really enjoy it. And
yeah, exactly.
I think that, you know, like for whatever reason, there's like nothing in my head that is like, you're doing something incredibly morally wrong here. So because I really enjoy it and I don't have any like staunch, you know, like intuitions that it's morally wrong, I just continue to eat it. However, right, like the rational arguments for veganism are quite compelling. They're quite compelling. I'd say that veganism is one of the harder positions to like intellectually defeat. And I will say, the very smartest people that I know are all vegans. Every single one of them. Like that upper echelon of like the most intelligent human beings I've ever spoken to. They're all vegans. Every single one of them. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, just a thought. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody in the Discord who's, you know, going over the issues with the party stream. Yeah, we definitely had some issues over there today. I need to definitely test that out further, try to figure out the right bit rate, the right frames per second. I think that there's a handful of issues going on over there. I intend to fix those. Did I just end my YouTube stream? Are we still live on YouTube? No, did I? No, I didn't end live on YouTube. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to get that figured out for tomorrow. We're going to get that one figured out for tomorrow. Anyways, for everybody else, I mean, I think at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and end for the day. I apologize for getting off so soon today. I feel really bad. But unfortunately, it looks like it's a call that has to be made. Do you know if Parker's getting on later?
He is, as far as I know. There's been some like internet outages, so he has to wait till that comes back on. But I'm assuming here in about, let's see, he said 6 o'clock his time, so here in about like 2.5 hours, I think, is hopefully around the time that he'll get on. So everybody can we'll have to wait maybe like a couple hours, but yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I might even like pop up then too for a little bit.
Yeah. So, because he may not be on until like later tonight, so you might have time to like come back and just like do like a quick little live if you're feeling like it.
I'll probably end up doing that. We just are facing so many issues today.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody. Well, for everybody that is tuned on over on YouTube, thank you so much for giving me some of your time today. For everybody that is tuned in over on TikTok, thank you so much for giving me some of your time today. I do apologize that, this afternoon's stream is a little bit different than most, a little bit slower, hard to find Trump supporters. And then honestly, the debates that we did get were like really insufferable. You had Kelly was insufferable. You had not Virginia, I forget her name now, but her name started with a V. She was very insufferable. Her name is Victoria. She was insufferable. So I don't know. Anyways, we are going to go on an end for the night. Show Parker some love when he goes live. Seriously, show him some love, please. His dog passed away, and he's taking.
It's been a rough day.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
Yeah.
Leah was quite the cutie patootie. Rip Leah. She was seriously so cute. Leah's one of the cutest dogs I've ever met.
Very.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go on an end now. Bye, everybody on YouTube.
Bye, Dean.
And bye, Matt. Have a good birthday, man. I hope you enjoy your dinner.
Thank you very much. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye. For everyone on YouTube, we're going to read off one last donation. Aiden with the $10 says, Yo, Dean, I got a friend who thinks deportation is good partially because he doesn't want Spanish speaking to increase for communication. I was so dumbfounded I didn't know how to rebuttal. Help. Holy fuck. Yeah, you could, I'd say the easiest rebuttal is going to be one of absurdity. So should we not let individuals immigrate if they speak a different language, even if it's legally? Should we cut off tourism from countries with individuals that speak other languages? And then, think about it. People speaking different languages and so on, do they think that's going to be harmful to America? Does he really think people of different cultures can thrive together if given prosperity and freedom? Because it sounds like his answer to that question would be no. But different people of different cultures thriving together if given prosperity and freedom is what made America. So that idea has been historically disproven. Anyways, I'm going to go and hop off for the evening. Love you all.